Welcome everybody to Bryant Stadium and Bill Castle Field for the Agni Family Dental Countdown to Kickoff. We got a lot going on here at Bryant Stadium, up in the press box. Some incredible things happening tonight. Jeff Goddard will get to some of those, some celebrations going on with Coach Bill Castle. And just to be back into football action again is something that we all are looking forward to. Obviously having a week off because of a forced week off, a cancellation, and then now back to action. We wanted to talk a little bit about last game that we played, though. Apopka, an incredible win for the Lakeland Dreadnoughts, 42-35. So again, a lot going on tonight. Let's jump right in and talk a little bit about that game, that last win.
Tim, good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
I trust you're okay post-hurricane?
Everyone, yeah.
Conti House okay?
A lot going on. Doing well, thank you.
Okay, good. Yeah, so obviously the Apopka game was one of the best games in a long time we've had in the regular season, especially not only having Coach Darlington back, the kind of emotion of that, his first game against Coach Castle, but also just a great game between two powerhouses, 7A versus 8A, just a great game. First half was, they're kind of feeling each other out, and the offenses really took over the second half. It was big play after big play. Yeah. And standing out for Lakeland, obviously, was sophomore tailback sensation DeMarcus Bowman, had another great game, couple touchdowns. Then also kind of making his presence really felt for the first time, senior wide receiver Antonio Whitehead had a couple long touchdown runs from the receiver position and caught some passes as well. Those guys really brought it home for Lakeland. Let's pause the national anthem.
Back up here in the press box. Lakeland Dreadnought Marching Band doing a fabulous job as always. They're in their full regalia tonight, so that means we're already through the beginning part of the season, the first several games, which we are. And again, Jeff, I think you summed up the last game against Apopka really well. It's good to be out in front and have that pace where you're really dominating teams, but to have this kind of real challenge for the Knots, I think was good, a good test. And they were fortunate to come away with the victory. It was one that could have gone either way.
You always want to be tested early in the year in some non-district games before you get in the district play, which will start here in the next week or so for the Dreadnoughts. Great test, great win. You kind of get the measuring stick game, see where you're at, and hopefully that's the kind of game Lakeland can play in the playoffs this year, assuming they're there, which hopefully we will be. But if we can, the opponents will be playing in the 7A playoffs will be, in that class really no greater than Apopka. I mean, Apopka is a premier program in the state of Florida, so that was a great game for sure.
Yeah, and so to wrap up that game, we told you it's going to be quick pace tonight, and one of the things that we have going on tonight is a celebration of sorts for your own coach, Bill Castle, who is coaching in his 500th game tonight.
That's halfway to 1,000.
That's incredible. And how many wins does he have?
409.
409. So
90
just 90 losses.
Amazing.
Trying to go for that next win, obviously. And so we're going to honor him a little bit at midfield and give you a few statistics about Coach Bill Castle. So let's take it down to the stadium here. You see the graphic there of Coach Bill Castle's 500th coached game tonight here, Eastlake versus Lakeland. And as we direct ourselves to that midfield where you see Coach Bill Castle, let's read a few statistics. It's a unique and powerful mascot, the Dreadnought, or perhaps it is days you spend at LHS, those glory days. But one thing LHS is known for around the state and even across the nation is football. Not only the football team, but our head coach, Bill Castle. Having success as a coach is noteworthy, but being able to sustain it for over 40 years is practically unheard of. Bill Castle has not had a losing season since 1976, including 5 successful undefeated regular seasons, during which the Dreadnoughts set a state record 60-game winning streak and 53-game winning streak from 2004 through 2007 seasons. His teams have won 25 district championships, 6 state championships, and 2 USA national championships, all at Lakeland High School. Not many people are considered legends during their life, but Bill is. He has been inducted into the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame, the FHSAA Hall of Fame, and in 2007, honored as the FHSAA Coach of the Century. Tonight he'll coach his 500th game as the head coach of Lakeland Dreadnoughts, doing what he does best, win. Fans, please, again, are on their feet right now here at Bryant Stadium to honor Coach Bill Castle at midfield. Special moment for fans. If you've gone to Lakeland High School, if you've been a football player under Coach Bill Castle during his long stint here at Lakeland High School, and a good time for, at halftime, we'll hopefully have an interview with Coach Galloway, who was with Coach Castle for nearly 20 years. And so we'll get his perspective maybe on the whole thing tonight as well. So,
one thing that jumps out to me there is you could tell Coach Castle enjoyed being honored there, but you could tell he was chomping at the bit to get back to his team.
That's what
he
he's
wants
about.
to get ready to win number 410 tonight, you know.
He's all about coaching, and when he's on the field, it's hard for him to focus on anything else,
So
I think.
I just did that math in my head. If Lakeland's able to win tonight, that means his winning percentage would be 82%, which is phenomenal.
That's phenomenal. Any
coach
820
winning
coach
percentage
would take that in a heartbeat for
absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, I think we're going to go ahead and take a commercial. Agni Family Dental, we'll talk about them when we come back a little bit and set the table for the game tonight.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
Agni Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agni Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
Back here at Bryant Stadium, high in the press box, above Bill Castle Field, rightfully named for the coach that now is coaching in his 500th consecutive game. And tonight his opponent is the Eastlake Eagles, Jeff Goddard.
So one thing to talk about first is just the rest factor. Obviously, Lakeland has not played a game in, 15 days? Yeah. And they couldn't practice the whole time. School was out of session.
Not allowed to do any activities
no
while school
activities
was out
at all.
of session.
So they started practicing in this Tuesday. They had 3 practices, and now they're playing on the 4th day. Eastlake actually played Monday night. I guess the game they would have missed from last Friday. So they actually did play Monday. So they might be a little bit crisper when the game starts. We'll have to see if that's a factor or not. But in terms of Eastlake, they're a very good team. Tim have been a very successful program over the last decade. They are in the state playoffs almost every year. Several times in the last 5 years, they advanced, into the state quarterfinals, or even I think once the state semifinals, once or twice. So they're a perennial playoff team. They're used to playing against good competition. Also, Class 7A, like the Dreadnoughts, coached by Bob Hudson. And let's talk a little bit about in terms of what they're going to do on offense. They're going to run the ball a lot.
Okay.
They have a senior quarterback, number 12, Jackson Rowland, big kid, over 205 pounds. So he's going to run the ball
Two
some.
big quarterbacks
as
going
well
against
as
each other.
throw the ball. And they're really the bread and butter guy on offense is senior tailback number 1, Breon Hillman. He's going to get a lot of the carries. They're a very good fullback as well. Number 11, David Lucas. He'll also get some carries. Then in terms of catching the ball, number 3, Joshua Bowers is a two-way star, both at wide receiver and also excels at cornerback on their defense.
Very good.
And according to Coach Harbin, their defense is going to give Lakeland lots of looks, multiple looks, lots of blitzing. And so Kavaris Thomas is going to have to be on his A game tonight in terms of making those reads and avoiding the pressure. Hopefully the offensive line will be up to snuff as well. And then one of their other premier defensive players is Jake Castle, who plays linebacker. Their front 7 is very good, and look for them to bring lots of pressure on Lakeland tonight.
Kind of odd, Jeff, to be talking about maybe shaking off the cobwebs here after 4 or 5 games, but after you haven't played for 15 games, you don't have the practice. Interesting to see how you're going to respond. Obviously, we were playing at a very high level, had to be with the challenge against Apopka, and see if they can kind of jump right back in and keep that flow, or if it's going to take them a few quarters to get the engine flowing.
So in terms of keys to the game, in terms of kind of the rust factor, I would also say for sure you're going to have to try to limit the sloppy play, turnovers, penalties. That's always can be an issue, but on a night like tonight where you haven't played in over 2 weeks and your opponent has, that might even be needs to be a bigger point of emphasis for Lakeland tonight. And then, of course, another key of the game will be containing their running game. You want to stop them on first down, make them pass the ball on third down. If Lakeland can do that, then they should be in good position to win. Then, of course, offensively, I want to see what Kavaris Thomas does. Yeah. He's looked good so far, but he's kind of got off to slow starts in some games and played better in the second half. I want to see if he can get off to maybe a better start tonight and help Lakeland against this tough front seven of the Eagles of East Lake.
Seems to be a quarterback that does have to get into the flow himself a little bit to feel comfortable and get settled down. We've seen him on the run, Jeff. He's a good scrambler. Because of his size, he has some ability, obviously, to shed players and then look downfield and still make plays. Sounds like he's going to have to bring that tonight as well against this defense.
I also want to see some more of that two-headed rushing attack monster. You normally think of tailback, fullback, or two tailbacks. But for Lakeland, it's tailback Bowman and wide receiver Whitehead, who did a good job a couple times lining up as a wingback, kind of getting that misdirection play. And he had some big runs for the Dreadnoughts 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about the offense. Obviously, we got a lot of weapons, but the defense for Lakeland has had now some consecutive games of scoring and making an impact themselves and putting points on the board. So I'd love to see that streak continue to happen, particularly with interceptions and pick sixes.
We'll see how much East Lake passes tonight. Maybe it'll come on a fumble return tonight. We'll see.
That sounds good to me. So we're just moments away from kickoff here at Bryant Stadium, and then we'll have actually, as Jeff reminded me, we'll have 2 weeks with away games coming up, and then we'll back here October 13th at home again. So
Winter Haven.
Against Winter Haven, which is a huge game.
So
obviously.
Bartow, next week at Jenkins, and then Winter Haven. So 3 consecutive Polk County games in a row. Of course, Jenkins is actually 8A, but Bartow and Winter Haven will be district games.
Yeah, so now we're just waiting. As you can see, the runway of victory, waiting for the teams to come out and begin thinking. Now the weather, I was talking to one of the East Lake players up here in the press box, or rather the cameramen, and they were saying that their season's just been riddled by the weather. They again playing on Monday, they've had one loss, they've had to kind of play a quarter, be off like we have, a lot of delays, and so it's looking good tonight, and so hopefully that it's not a decision. And only hurricane out there is about 1,000 miles away, so we're thankful for that tonight. And we do certainly want to acknowledge all those folks that are still struggling. We're certainly aware in Polk County and to our south some that a lot of people still don't have the provisions and things that they need, and we hopefully can bring a little bit of again just tonight, just take a breath and watch some Lakeland High School football and get away from some as a distraction a little bit. So
try to bring some normalcy back to everyone's schedule. Friday night football, we're back.
Friday night football under the lights. We're proud to bring it to you. So maybe we'll take a brief timeout one more time, and then we'll come back, and we're going to get some action going here for you at Bryant Stadium. Stay with us.
High school juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveFordExcellence.com for official rules. The 24th annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different and we prove it.
Midfield, coaches are ready to go, and the captains are ready to go as well. Eagles are going to defend the south end zone. I had my head turned around, not sure who won the coin toss. We're going to defend. It looks like we probably won. There is the cannon, and here comes your Dreadnoughts. We wrap up the Agni Family Dental countdown to kickoff. The teams are both on the field here. Bill Castle Field set. Knott's coming in at 3-0. The Eagles do have one loss on the season. Don't let that fool you, though. They are going to be a worthy competitor tonight. As you can see, Lakeland in the all orange.
We were
picked the right shirts tonight, Jeff.
You took the words out of my mouth, partner. And normally we didn't have time there because we were kind of in a rushed pregame show tonight, but I was talking a little bit about Agni Family Dental. And so our gracious sponsor for the pregame and postgame show. So I'll do that for just a second here as we wait for the teams to get ready to get this game started. One thing that's nice about them, not only the dental experience itself, but the customer service experience is great at Agni Family Dental. And I was actually supposed to go to the dentist last Thursday, but I had to reschedule it.
Yes.
And so now it's rescheduled for October. In October, but they're always so nice about that, and we're more than happy to work with you on your schedule and stuff like that. So if you need a new dentist here in the Lakeland area, I highly recommend you try the fine folks at Agni Family Dental. They have 2 convenient locations, one by Joe Marchant Stadium and one right across from Southgate Shopping Center. And the number there is 863-682-1500. Give them a call. Tell them that Jeff and Tim from the webcast sent you, and they will take good care of you.
All kinds of things got topsy-turvy switched around here with the hurricane, and one of those things certainly is homecoming. Homecoming's actually been changed here at Lakeland High School to the October 13th game against Winter Haven. So the dance will be Saturday, October 14th at the LHS gym. And so that's one thing that got changed. We'd like to first thank, again, Little Caesars Pizzas as well again tonight for being the press box sponsor. Always good to pop up in the press box and get that aroma that hits you right away. Go get your hot and ready pizza and enjoy at Little Caesars. JV football also beat Winter Haven last night 6-0 to bring their record to 2-1. Next week, JV plays Bartow at Bryant Stadium. Yeah, big game there.
Offensive fireworks yesterday.
I wonder if that was a touchdown, missed extra point, or 2 field goals. But they improved their record to 2-1. And backed also to the Booster Club meetings, which have been thrown all in a tizzy. But this Monday night, September 25th at 7 p.m. in the LHS Film Locker Room will, in fact, be the Booster Club meeting where you can come listen to Coach Bill Castle talk about his 500th game here as the Lakeland head coach and see highlights of tonight's game as well. Now, you may be saying, why are they waiting, Jeff Goddard? And it's because Spectrum Sports has chosen this game to be their game of the week. So as they are in commercial, we're just waiting for them to come back and give the green light to the refs so we can get this one underway. So they're just waiting for Spectrum Sports to give the all go ahead.
That means it's going to be a long game.
Yeah, it's going to be. You're going to have to all be patient with the TV timeouts. Number 15, Ian Woodward, is going to be kicking off to the Knots in the north end zone. Dreadnoughts going north to south. DeMarcus Bowman stands in the middle. Antonio Whitehead to the far side, and Fenley Graham to the Dreadnought sideline. Let's see if they decide to try to go deep. A lot of teams have kind of pooched it, but they're going to kick it. Well, obviously this kicker has a good leg on him, gets it high into the sky at the 3-yard line. Number 3 takes it, looking for a seam, cuts back to the outside, and is going to be chased in around and dropped at the 5. Maybe a little bit of an ill-advised backwards running there instead of going north and south.
Yeah, too much east-west there, but great kick, though, by them because he forced you to catch it around the 2 or 3-yard line. So that was a great kick there by Eastlake to start the game. Number 16 is their kicker, David Hutchins. Nice job. Well, I think it was number 16. But nice kick nonetheless.
Fairly unusual position for the Knots to be in on offense. They either usually have it at the 20 or a pretty good run back. So inside the 10-yard line is a little bit of a rare starting position for our first offensive try of the night here on Friday night under the lights, Lakeland webcast. Thank you for joining us as the first play about to be snapped to Mr. Kavaris Thomas. Goes off left side, has a seam, breaks free, 20, 25, almost stood his feet at the 28. Number 7, Whitehead couldn't keep it, or else he would have been off to the races.
Got that delay handoff there.
Yep.
Same play, counter play there, very similar to the play that was used effectively 2 weeks ago in Sapopka.
Sometimes, no matter how good of an athlete you are, when the speed gets you and you start tripping forward, you just can't get your feet back under you enough to gain your balance and continue on, and that's what he was fighting there.
Nonetheless, 20-plus yards get you out of the shadow of the end zone there.
So the bad kickoff return was erased in one play as Thomas rolls out right side, looking, has some time, throws it with a flick of the wrist downfield, has number 12, who switches his field and could not turn his body around and pick up the ball, number 12, Daquan Lawson.
That was, he's wide open, but not the best of throws by Thomas, that he really lofted it high and kind of got caught in the wind a little bit and ended up going to his opposite shoulder. If he was been able to lead him there on the inside, then that would have been a touchdown. That could have been a long pass play there, no doubt about that.
Because Thomas didn't have time to set his feet, Jeff. He just he kind of threw it in the general area, hoping the receiver was so wide open, hoping that he'd be able to get it. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Thomas, as you can see, in the shotgun formation. He's going to hand the ball off. Nice cut by number 22, Bowman. Picks up a few, 5-6 yards on first down, or second down rather.
About 6, so it'll be a very manageable 3rd and 4.
Bowman on the carry, tackled by Carson Lilly. He'll gain 6 yards, brings up 3rd down and 4.
So run, pass, run for the Knots on offense. If we keep the little baby pattern going, we'll pass the ball this time. But on a 3rd and 5, let's see. Bowman comes off the field. Whitehead out to the far side along with Lawson to this near side. Dropping back, looking good protection over the middle of the field. Fired, and nice defensive play by number 18, who got there just as the ball did. Lawson got the ball jarred loose just as he touched it.
Got to make that catch. That ball was right there. Good pass. I mean, there's good coverage there by Eastley, but nice throw by Thomas, and that's a catch that Daquan Lawson normally would make, and I'm sure he's frustrated with himself that he was not able to make it that time.
Number 18 did. Joshua Green make a good play, but agreed that the ball was in front of him and still should have caught it, as we are set on our first offensive possession. A low snap to punt the ball. It's partially blocked. Number 36 saw that the punter was struggling, and number 36 came in, Jake Castle, to partially block the punt, and only went about 20 yards.
Yeah, that's a kind of first big play of the game there by the Eagles special teams play. But really, that was the origins of that partial block were a low snap there, and forced the punter to have to pick it up and kind of gather himself before he could punt it.
So Jackson Rowland, the senior quarterback for East Lake, comes, sets a man in motion. Number 10 crosses the backside. He's going to hand off on a quick pop straight into the heart of the defense, and he picks up a yard just by falling forward.
David Lucas on the carry.
Lucas on the carry.
There. He's
big
a hoss. Guy. He's got tree trunks for legs.
As Lucas trots off the field. They have a single setback who's standing way about 7 yards deep of the quarterback, Rowland. Backside motion once again, sets a man to block, hands it off right side. Good hard run, Jeff. He hit the line and could have been stopped right there at the line of scrimmage, but fought for about 3 or 4 yards. 3rd down and 3.
Number 2, Isaac Gibbs, one of the other running backs. Yeah, nothing fancy there, just a nice, strong, powerful run there by Gibbs.
Rowland comes up quick with the offense.
Quick offense here there.
Yeah, pick up the first. Trying to catch the Knots on a short 3rd down conversion.
And shotgun for the first time tonight.
Man back to block as he's looking for a quick pass. And number 3, Finley Graham, was playing a little off number 88, the intended receiver, so he had enough room and space to Ryan Roop.
The tight end, made the catch for
That's an easy pickup, Jeff. Ryan Roop just runs 4 yards, turns around, and a quick pop. And again, unfortunately, Finley Graham was about 4 yards off.
And Finley Graham was a little close to having a horse collar or tackle there, too. He's got to be careful about that.
First down into not territory goes to Eastlake. Quick handoff to the big fullback, again, number 11, who's just bowling his way through the heart of the defense and picks up about 7 yards. That's a taste that the Knott defense hasn't had, a big bruising fullback that they've had to contend with, so that'll be a test.
Robert Madden on the tackle there along with another Dreadnought player.
Second down and 3 for Eastlake. Roland. Quick snap count. Again, the fullback gets it trying to push the pile. He does successfully, about another 2-3 yards close to the first down.
It's going to be close. I think he's going to get it. I mean, I can't remember the last time, if ever in high school, I've seen a fullback that is that
stout,
rotund.
He's healthy, as we have an official timeout. We can keep it here with 8:15. Just catch up on a little bit of our pregame. As we said, this is a Spectrum Sports Game of the Week, but we're glad you're joining us here on the webcast. Whether you're in Lakeland or around the country.
For? It's not the water break.
No, I think it's just a measurement. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Took the chain gang a while to come out there. That's why I wasn't sure what they were doing.
Got it by a nose.
Tell you a funny story. I just, if you heard that over the last week, they just welcomed Coach Galloway here tonight. So we do know for sure now Bill Galloway is in the house. And do you have that set up already, Tim, or do we need to make contact with him?
Travis's son contacted me a week or two ago and mentioned that they were going to be here for this game, and so we'll try to arrange to get you that interview at halftime, and if we can get Coach Galloway up here in the box. If not, we may take the interview down to him as Roland rolls out, looking good protection, and there is a flag, but he held it back, so it might have been thought it was going to be maybe a face mask, and then he held it back in. So just a sack, actually, on Roland, the first of the night for the Dreadnought defense. Second down and 10. Quickly back to work again.
I apologize. I missed who made the sack because I was watching the referee with the flag in his hands and shove it back in his pocket. So I actually missed who got the sack there for making a good defense for the Dreadnoughts.
Eagles on a second down and 10. Long snap count. Finally, there's some movement on the East Lake side of the ball, and that'll be 5 yards.
False start.
Against the Eagles.
Second and 15 now. Not an easy task as they send 4 wide receivers spread equally across the line. Single set back to block, and they actually hand off to that back who gets crushed right at the line. I mean, mowed under by 3 or 4 Dreadnoughts right at the line. Great defensive play led by number 1, Mr. Branson Brown.
And also number 99, I believe, was in on that one as well.
Trey Huntley also in on the
98, excuse me, not 99, 98, Trey Huntley.
Yeah.
That's what you call blowing a play up.
They killed it.
Lost
third and 18. So huge third down and conversion, way out of field goal range. Rolling out is Roland, looking deep downfield. He's getting a try for the sideline. Nice caught. Coming back, it'll bring up a 4th down. So they picked up about 15 of the 18 they needed, but
yeah,
still going to be
down at the 27-yard line. They got to get down
decision
to
time here.
So 4th and a long 4. We'll see if they have a good kicker. Or are they,
well, by the kickoff, they have a really good kicker.
Yeah,
you can just tell. So they're in fact going to go for a long field goal of about.
Be a 44-yarder.
Yeah, 44 yards. Wind slightly east to west.
Number 15, Ian Woodward, the senior place kicker.
Shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Be wide left, I think.
No good, wide left.
Yeah, wide left. He had the distance, it looked like, but wide left. Not sure this is related, but, you know, on the kickoff, it also went to the left. So I don't know, maybe he's a natural hook kicker instead of a.
So the Eagles driving on their first offensive possession, Jeff, and then stifled by a nice quarterback sack and a small penalty, and another good defensive play puts them in the hole. They try the long field goal and come up short. So not as your score here after two offenses have tried on their first attempts. Knott's this time at the 20 after the missed field goal. We'll start with two wide receivers, Whitehead and Lawson to the near side. Rolling out, quick pass to Lawson. Has some good blocking just to get to the outside. A nice pickup of around 10 yards.
Nice quick rhythm pass there from Thomas to Bowen. Allow him to catch it in stride and get upfield for about 8 or 9 yards. So first quarter water break here. So if you're at home, you're now a chance to go to your refrigerator and get the cold beverage of your choice.
Knott's getting a early water break. May not need it yet. They've only been on the field offense one time. This is their second possession. And we talked about rhythm in pregame. And what would the Knott's look like coming out after 15 days of not having played in just a few days of practice? Not looking too bad, Jeff. Some crisp throws by Thomas. Nearly had a long one in the first possession on with Lawson, who broke free and was about 7 yards clear of a defender, but couldn't catch it over his shoulder.
Yeah, you've seen already here in the first half of the first quarter that Lakeland definitely has some big play potential here. You had the long run by Whitehead in the first play of the game, and you had a guy right open that long pass play they couldn't quite connect on. So there's definitely some plays to be made here for the Dreadnoughts tonight.
And even after the normal water timeouts, Spectrum is running a commercial right now, so that'll be a little elongated during some of these breaks. Gives Coach Castle some time to continue talking with his offense to try to pick up that win in his 500th game. That's I keep saying it because it's just it's that amazing.
You don't want to lose your 500th game.
No,
you gotta win that one.
Thanks again to those that are joining us, not only in the state of Florida, but around the country. We'd love to hear from you. You know my number, or Jeff Goddard's number, or Mike Barrett, or certainly through our Twitter. You can get in touch with us if you have a question during the game even. We're happy to address it for you on a second down and 1. We're back to action with number 5 taking the snap straight up the gut. Number 65 busted through, but the back was able to sidestep him and pick up the first down.
Eudora Hall, the backup running back, got the first down for the Dreadnoughts. Jared Bauer making a play there for the Eagles.
Thomas in a strong I formation. Center number 54 looks back, looking for a quick toss. Now the quarterback's just going to keep it. He's going to get hit hard at the 35.
I'm not sure that was a design play. That may be
I don't think so.
Play there.
I think it was good coverage to the outside. He didn't want to risk the quick pass because the defender is one of those plays, Jeff. If he was reading the eyes, he could have stepped right in front of the ball, and there was no one, obviously, between him and the goal line. So I think that was probably a smart play, but paid the price after a 2-yard gain, second down and 8.
Linebacker Reed Pusulatello made the tackle there for the Eagles. That was a mouthful, Tim.
Did a nice job. Second 8. Fake hand off the Bowen. That is a design play by your quarterback. Look at your quarterback go. The big man down to the 20. Stiff arms down to the 10. Oh, that's a test for your quarterback. He's like, oh, I didn't plan to run that far, coach.
Yeah, he didn't even try to outrun him. He just went ahead and secured the ball.
Yeah.
That's the longest run of the year by far for Kavaris Thomas. Great.
Probably smart for Thomas just to say, listen, I'm running out of gas. I'm just going to hold on to this ball. I'm not going to try to do anything fancy.
Great job there by Thomas doing the read option. Made the correct call to keep it. And he had a big hole right in the middle, untouched right in the middle, unabated. And actually, I was just watching there. Coach Castro took it easy on him. He's sitting there playing with one of the receivers, so that way he didn't have to run all the way back to midfield to get the play. He was definitely gassed.
On a first down and goal to go at the 9, Eastlake is going to take a timeout.
Which
so
is
the
great. It
Eagles,
will give Kavares more of a chance to catch his breath.
Probably smart. We'll go ahead and take a timeout as well with 4:20 remaining in the first quarter. No score yet on the board. Stay with us.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
We always give you more to love at Regal Chevy in Lakeland.
I couldn't be happier with my experience. The sales department was so friendly, and they made it easy to find a vehicle to fit my budget.
Brand new 2017 Cruises in stock with payments just $130 a month. Drive the all-new redesigned 2018 Equinox for only $200 a month. Fall in love with Regal Chevy in Lakeland. Community-minded, customer-focused, and family-owned for over 41 years.
Sal says yes, you pay less.
Back to action here on a first and goal to go at the 9. Thomas hands off Bowman. Bowman has a nice block, cuts to the middle, slashes his way to the 2. Good hard run by DeMarcus.
Yeah, a 7-yard gain on first down. Nice block in there by the left side of our offensive line. Always, that can be a little tricky spot when you have first and goal from the 9 to 10, but that's a great way to get this set it down started. 7-yard gain. Now Lakeland is in prime position to score the first points of this ball game.
Bowman's coming off at the time when they normally bring in that power package, and I know that easily by looking for number 1, Branson Brown, who is out there along with the backup runner Hall.
Number 4,
and big number 96 as well.
Jeans in there to block. Yep.
So they're going to plow the way, and they actually hand it off to Branson Brown. Interesting choice.
You know, I'm just not I see it all the time a lot in college too. I'm just not a huge fan of those power packages because it allows everybody just to put defense put everybody in the box.
Cook everything up, and so it's hard to find any space for anyone.
I like to spread them out, you know.
I almost like, if you do that, I almost like having the idea of bouncing it outside. I mean, pretty much planning that you're going to run outside and just it's a foot race usually. Or if it's just man-to-man, you can cut inside and usually beat a player.
A naked bootleg. I do like that play in this power line.
Third down 2, they're going to try it again. The quarterback's going to keep it. Branson's going to try to push the pile, just like you said, Jeff. Just too much stuff happening and nowhere to go.
You have to be able to get a really big push to make that play work. You know, when you have the jumbo package in there, everyone's boxing together. First, you're talking to a Gator fan who's seen too much of that over the last little bit, you know. Always trying to run in the middle. And
when it doesn't work,
you gotta spread them out, you know?
Yeah, it's always easy to say when it doesn't. When it works, it's like, hey, that's a perfect play. But I've just always been a fan when you have that much room to this near side in particular, towards the cone, just getting one of your speed guys doing a pitch out. And the quarterback again trying to keep it. He falls forward. Let's see if he broke the plane.
I thought he got it.
No signal yet. Oh.
Touchdown.
Dreadnoughts. Very late call.
Just barely got it, Tim, but we got in the end zone. Lakeland's up 6-0.
Tough one to see. You know, if you're under the pile and you've got like a GoPro or something.
Yeah, what it looked like to me when he fell forward, when he got tackled and he fell forward, it looked like the ball went across the goal line. So I thought the ref was going to make that call there. It just took him a while to do it.
Sean Graham on the hold for Jesse Williams. And just waiting for the ref's whistle. He blows it, so set for the extra point. Ball down. Kick is good and nails the Naughtitron with some authority up there. Jesse Williams putting it through. Dreadnoughts on the board first.
Jesse might break the Naughtitron this year.
Took nearly the entire first quarter, but the Knots were able to punch it.
The Naughtitron asked that we score all of our touchdowns this year in the north end zone
please.
instead of the south.
Could I avoid the abuse from Jesse Williams?
Just want to give a quick shout out to my brother Robbie, who's watching the game from up in Orlando. Glad he's tuned in tonight.
Is that the same one that was in the press box here a couple weeks ago?
Yes. He's training for a new job. He's going to become a pilot with JetBlue, so he's out there at a training facility there in Orlando. Let's see if Jesse hits the Naughtitron from the 40-yard line or not.
It's possible. A little bit of wind going against him, so that's going to hamper him just a hair as Jesse Williams puts foot to leather and just drills a line drive through the back of the end zone. Wow.
Out of the end zone.
How about that?
Not real high, but it works just as good.
Warp speed there. Eagles now will take over.
Talk with Jesse or his dad and find out what, if any, schools might be recruiting him. I think he definitely have a chance to kick in college if he has that desire and want to do that.
I would say so. He's got just enough of that grit about him as a kicker, a competitive kind of flow you can see. And so I think he's a great weapon, proving himself. Back to action for Roland on offense, spread offense, single set back. You see this formation for the Knots a lot. Late handoff, and the Dreadnoughts were sniffing that out from the very beginning. Isaac Gibbs on the carry. Smith and a host of Knots on the tackle for a 2-yard loss. Dreadnought D stepping it up here in the last 5 or 6 plays. Looking for a defensive turnover in this game to keep things going. Roland handoff again, telegraphs it, and the Dreadnoughts once again get him behind the line of scrimmage. Wow. Guess Eastlake not wanting to flirt with any passes down this far near their end zone, and they're just handing it off and going backwards.
Trifecta of Dreadnought defenders: Carlos Best, Robert Madden, and I couldn't make out the other one, but 3 Lakeland defenders combined to make that tackle. And maybe Ja'Quarius Smith. I think it was all 3 linebackers in there making that tackle.
I think they'd have to go to the air on a 3rd and 13. Roland's going to work out of the shotgun. Man coverage as Roland does a quick pass, trying to get a block, but that was brought out nicely. What a great defensive play. He saw the swing pass the entire way, and I think that was number 2, Smith, to the outside on the play.
It's sometimes hard for her to tell who the number is. You sure it wasn't a cornerback?
I'm not.
Gleason.
Looks like time will run out in the quarter. And the Knots will take a 7-0 lead into the second quarter.
It may have been either 2 Ja'Quarius Smith. It may have been 3 Finley Graham. So his cornerback, he may have been lined up out there.
I saw everyone smacking Ja'Quarius Smith on the legs, congratulating him.
So I think that's a good sign. If that's the case, that just shows you his versatility as a linebacker.
Let's go ahead and take it to a commercial. Dreadnoughts up 7-0 here at the end of the first quarter. Stay with us for the second quarter.
A warranty with unlimited miles. Regal Kia in Lakeland is Central Florida's only family-owned dealership to offer a lifetime warranty on every new Kia sold for as long as you own your vehicle. Regal is Lakeland's volume Kia dealer with over 250 new Kias available. Online at regalkia.com. We offer a family buying experience in our spacious new facility and exceptional service with pickup and delivery after the sale. Serving Central Florida for 40 years. See why so many people trust Regal Kia next to Lakeland High School.
Here to Bryant Stadium in Bill Castle Field.
Also want to give a quick shout out, Tim, to the Madden cousins up at West Point. Chase, a sophomore, and George, a freshman, watching the game in Chase's dorm room. Glad you guys are tuning in tonight and spending your Friday night with us, watching your brother and cousin Robert play linebacker for the Dreadnoughts.
Doing so at a high level, too.
Can I give one more shout out to
we got the time right now.
Our good friend Keith Cornea from the mountains of Tennessee.
All right.
Said he is glad that we were playing football again, and we all say amen to that.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Keith, man, you should have hitched a ride back down here with the Galloways. They came down from Tennessee this week. You could have carpooled with them.
Lots of Hurricane Irma stories, even up as far as the mountains of North Carolina. Trees falling even up there. Power outages. My partners at work went up there to stay with his in-laws and help them out, and they had power out for almost 2 days. So forced to punt on this 4th and 15. Wow, a boomer as it's going to turn over and drive Finley Graham back, and the ball still
I think they got it.
Picked up by Eastlake at the 40. So not only did Finley Graham bobble the ball, but he paid a big price, Jeff, as the special teams for the Eastlake just creamed him. Saw his shoulder just fly back, and he's now kind of limping, holding that shoulder a little loosely. He got just drilled.
Big special teams miscue there, no doubt about it. It was a great punt. Had a little spin on the ball. Looked like two may have thrown Finley off. And couldn't quite come up with it.
You know, you're not necessarily used to.
I thought he was going to get it off the first bounce, but wasn't able to do it. And then it was a mad scramble for the ball.
Momentum shift a little bit now on the turnover. They send the big fullback back into the middle of the pile for a 3-yard gain. Just you're not, you know, Finley Graham he probably has not seen a punt like that to actually return in quite a while, and it does. It plays tricks on you with the lights, Jeff, and you got a little bit of wind, and you know it has a different kind of spiral pattern on it. It's not easy to judge.
Jason Hampton in that last tackle for the Dreadnoughts.
2nd and 7 after the 3-yard pickup by the big man. They're going to go to the running back this time. Hit by Finley Graham behind the line and dropped right there for no gain.
Trey Huntley and Robert Madden combined to make that tackle, along with maybe one or two other Dreadnoughts, but look like those were the two main tacklers, if you will.
They gave him a yard or two on the carry, 3rd and 6.
One interesting thing, Tim, I guess maybe it's her. We haven't really seen Breon Hillman yet tonight, who's their starting tailback. Instead, we've seen a lot of Isaac Gibbs, number 2. Fullback handoff. They got him bottled up.
Yeah, they stopped his momentum, which is good. If you don't let him get going north and south, and so they hit him after he took his first step, and he just couldn't get the engine running.
Jason Hampton and Jaquarius Smith on that tackle. Hampton had a good series there. Yeah, those big fullbacks like that, you got to get them early. Once they get that momentum and they're running downhill, you're in trouble.
Interesting on a 1-yard loss, Jeff. They're looking at now they're going to send in the kicker. On a 4th and 7, they were talking it over, thinking about going for it. But they're going to maybe try to pin the knots deep or go for an extremely long field goal.
Are you serious? You got to watch out for the fake here.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is a 52-yarder.
53.
53 yards. I don't know. Maybe he kicks him successfully in practice with enough leg. He's got a little bit of wind going for him. It's not going to get there. Not a bad attempt. Had a pretty good amount of oomph on it.
It was straight. It would have been good if it would have been a little bit higher and about 5 to 8 yards deeper, but That was straight. The first one, he had the distance, but he hooked it to the left. That time, obviously from 53 yards, didn't have the distance, but it was straight.
So I guess very capable of making a 53-yarder, just has to hit it just right. So Knott's hold again, and they'll take over on the 20.
Tim, isn't Eastlake over in Pinellas County, I believe? Is that right?
I guess, Jeff, you figure, you know, why not, if you have a kicker that can possibly make it, even if it's a 20% chance to make it, you have a chance to put points on the board, and you know the Knots are going to start from the 20 anyway, so you avoid a blocked punt or anything like that, or a return, so that's not a bad overall option. Is the pitch to the outside is Whitehead tries to make a hard cut and picks up still 5 or 6 yards.
Did this patented spin move there. He's a great addition to the team. You know, we had 2 transfer quarterbacks come in. Of course, Kavaris Thompson and Gibson, he's the starting quarterback. But Whitehead was a quarterback from Kathleen. He's here. Obviously, Thomas is the quarterback. But he's a great addition as a kind of a slot receiver, if you will. And they use him in the running game quite a bit. Just a great weapon for the Dreadnoughts.
Thomas, 4 yards deep, gets the ball, high snap, fakes the
Thomas
handoff to
it again.
Bowman. They're obviously keying on the running backs, and Thomas is having free reign up the middle.
10-yard gain right in the middle to the 35-yard line. Nice job.
Something I'm noticing about Eastlake, Jeff, though, is they're not giving anything to the Knots. I mean, they're pretty stingy. They're good tacklers. They're not missing a lot once they get to the ball.
You can tell they're well coached.
They are
fundamentally sound.
Normally, our running backs are keen at bouncing off opposing defenders, but this time it seems like the Eagle defenders are wrapping up well. 1st and 10. Good rollout. Lots of pressure. Senses it from the backside, flicks it to no one in between 2 receivers, but he had someone all over him.
Did a good job of getting rid of the ball so he didn't take a sack.
Avoided the first defender who was coming from the backside. He was about to get sacked, and just kind of that intuition said, I feel someone breathing down my neck. So he turned on the jets and, like you said, Jeff, turned his body just enough to throw it and get it to an incomplete pass rather than a sack for a loss. 2nd down 10. Three wide receivers go out to that far side. A host of choices. Handoff. Number 14 just tried to jump up in the air. Deshaun Graham left his feet, which is also gives the defender an easy
Never
tackle.
a good idea.
Yeah.
That defender was number 42 for Eastlake, John McClam. Kind of like in basketball, you know, we used to always tell players, you never want to, leave your feet unless you know what you're going to do with the ball. You know, never as a ball carry in football. I don't think it's very wise to do that either.
Bowman comes out. Keon Zipperer.
Haven't heard much from him tonight.
No,
Actually,
in there, maybe we will. Drop back, getting pressure. Escapes it, runs, quarterback, tries to dive. He's going to be short of the first down marker by about 3 yards. Good coverage downfield and good pressure in the backfield.
Be 4th and about 3. Be interesting to see if Coach Castle. Actually, it's about 2.5, almost 2. I mean, but I think Coach Castle is going to play the field position game, going to punt it. I thought he might consider going for it.
A good hold for Eastlake defense. A little bit of a victory there. Still only a one-score ball game.
Long snapper Robert Madden can get a little bit better snap this time.
Gets it back there quickly. That's
good job
the key.
there, Robert.
End over end. Let's see what kind of. Takes a nasty bounce for the Eagles against the Knots. Not a great result. Net of only about 23, 24 yards.
Pretty cool and a momentous night. 19 for Coach Castle's 500th game. Then we have Spectrum here, so more people get to see the festivities tonight. which hopefully will include a Dreadnought win, but only up 7-0 right now.
Roland sends number 10, Lucas, in motion, but hands off to the right side. Dreadnought defense missing some tackles. Had him for 3 yards deep of that, and he just kept turning his feet.
Not so much a missed tackle as much as just he
guess.
drug him up the field a couple more yards. Jaquarius Smith made the initial hit there for Lakeland, but it took about 6 or 7 Dreadnoughts to get Roland down.
Eagles moving quickly, 2nd down and 5. Robert Matting directing the defense, making sure men are covered as they're going to pass to the outside. Quick pass, I don't know if he got it or not. He might have scooped it, incomplete. They're saying the turf
caught it.
Yeah, the turf had a small part in that, unless the ref's going to overrule them. Now they're going to say it's a catch now.
I thought it was. I thought he had his body underneath it. He bobbled, but I thought he kept it off the ground. I think that's a good call. Now it's 3rd and less than 1 here.
Probably quarterback keeper, strong quarterback, a big guy. He's probably just going to keep it right up the middle, and he does. Pushes the pile enough for the 1st down.
Yep.
Just playing solid and hanging around. The Knots still 1-score game. That 2 yards results in the Eagles' 1st down. And have another official timeout for the 2nd quarter water break at the 6:08 mark. Let's go ahead and send it to the commercial. Dreadnoughts lead 7-0.
Juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveFordExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different and we prove it.
Why buy at Regal Chevrolet in Lakeland? We're family owned, serving Central Florida for 40 years with a new facility, including a new service department, exceptional service from a staff that gets it right the first time, a clean, comfortable customer lounge, and over 20 acres of our $8 million inventory, all priced to move. Last chance for model year-end savings. Shop online 24/7. Plus, we'll even deliver to your home or office. Trust Regal Chevrolet in Lakeland.
Regal Chevrolet Lakeland, one of our fine sponsors. As the Knots enjoying a little extra time to talk things over in this extended water break with Spectrum Sports taking their time that they need to get things in order. Well played ball game, turning out to be a rain-free night, which we're all in favor of.
I mean, overall, Lakeland looks pretty crisp tonight. Obviously, they had the muff punt there, but other than that, not too many penalties really at all.
The clean game, 1st and 10, fresh set of downs.
Hard-fought game between 2 good teams tonight.
Yeah. Rolling 3 yards deep. And get a nice snap. 3 steps back, going deep this time. He's got a man.
Pass.
Had plenty on it. Both the defender and the offensive guy stopped, Jeff.
Well, yeah, I mean, the defender stopped because the offensive guy stopped, but why the receiver stopped, I don't know. If he kept on running, that might possibly could have been a touchdown. Although it looked like the cornerback, who I think that was Graham, although I'm not for sure, looked like he had good coverage on him, so I'm not sure, but he had no chance to make the catch when he stopped there. So I'm not sure there was a miscommunication between the quarterback and receiver on what the pattern is supposed to be.
Well, Roland's definitely got an arm. That just showed us that he can throw it downfield without too much trouble. As Roland again, handoff this time to number 2, who's going to try to get the outside, and he'll face mask.
Yep.
Unfortunately, just reaching out to grab to stop his momentum. Number 2 caught his mask in the process.
Gibbs broke containment that time on the Dreadnought defense and was able to bounce it outside. Really the first time all night that a running play for the Eagles, you've seen it go outside like that. And instead of about a 5 or 6 yard gain, it's going to be a 1st down there with face mask. I spoke too soon about no penalty sent him.
Yeah, I know. We always do. You know, Jaquarius Smith was in back of him, so really he just went high and didn't see that he obviously grabbed the face mask. He had 2 other Lakeland defenders. If you would just kind of let the play go, I know it's tough when you're in the flow of the play, but he wasn't going anywhere anyways. But cost him an extra 15 yards on the personal foul face mask penalty. 1st and 10 now at the just shy of the 35-yard line. Rowland has his big fullback in, try to pound the defense a little bit here, and they're going to pitch it to the running back. So totally opposite what we were thinking. No gain there, maybe a yard. Is in fact no gain, 2nd down and 10.
Just confirm with the video guy up here for East Lake that Hillman is not playing tonight. Breon Hillman, their tailback. He's not sure why, but he's not playing.
Good fake, roll out quarterback looking, nowhere to go. He's going to try to force one in there, and that was a
nobody
tough
open.
play.
Great
yeah.
coverage by the Dreadnought linebackers in secondary.
He was surprised, Jeff, after that great initial move that faked the defensive line out. All the cornerbacks stayed their position, and he was expecting someone to be wide open, and no one was there. There were 4 orange jerseys and only 1 white jersey.
Yeah, naked bootleg didn't fool anybody.
So that was extremely well defended by the Knots, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 10. Rowland's got some skills to run. Defense jumps a little bit, but back in time. Quarterback keeper design play. Robert Madden first to wrap up the quarterback, and they're going to try a long field goal again, I would suspect. Just getting them warmed up, Jeff.
I mean, if you tried a 53-yarder, why would you not try
this is easy. This
40,
is cake.
44, 43-yarder?
Wind helping just a smidge.
Yeah, about a 43.5-yarder, we'll call it. Probably 43-yarder.
Good snap, but blocked.
Pick it up, there you go.
Big man picked it up, rumbling, stumbling out to the 45. I think he was surprised, Jeff. He's like, what do I have here?
Is that Huntley or Gene? 96, that's Gene. Those big guys, they don't get to carry the ball very often.
No, that was a shocker. He's like, I don't know what to do with this thing.
Did you see who blocked that? I couldn't tell.
He ran the right direction, thankfully. No,
yeah.
I couldn't see who blocked it.
All right. They have a good kicker, but they tried 3 long field goals, and one got blocked, and the other one was wide left, the other one was short. We'll see if he gets a chance to kick a short field goal. Extra point, I'm sure he'll make that, but the long field goals, he's not been able to convert one yet.
Even if he would have missed, the block gives us an extra 23 yards in field position. And a strong eye. Thomas back to work. Handoff. Good tackle again. I'm just impressed with their tackle number 5, Reed. There's the name.
Puzzatello. Yeah, they're a very sound football team. For sure.
I mean, normally you see a man-to-man coverage like that with Bowman, you'd be licking your chops and say, this isn't even a contest. But East Lake, those sound fundamentals you spoke about earlier are very evident. 2nd and 9 on what could have been a huge gain. Good fake, throw into the outside, lots of room. Zipper makes a move. He made one too many, Jeff. He should have just kept running. He would have had the first down easily.
Yeah, a little bit too much dancing instead of just putting his head down and getting a few extra yards.
Just gone to the outside and bowled his way and easily picked up another 5 or 6, but now it'll bring up not too bad, 3rd and 2 manageable. I'm saying even with Apopka, this is the best defense that we've faced in terms of just overall soundness. Let's see what we come up with.
We had our way with Apopka, especially the second half.
3rd and short. It's nothing's going to be easy tonight. late whistle blow movement, I think.
Hard to delay a game, maybe.
It could have been that. It's going to go against the Knots either way.
False start, you were right. Now it's going from 3rd and short to 3rd and 7.
Penalty brings up 3rd down and 8 for the Dreadnoughts.
Thomas rolls out on a 3rd and 7. Call it 3rd and 8. Nowhere to go. Is going to run it, drop his head, and makes midfield, but it's not going to be enough on a 4th and short again. Coach Castle talking to Lawson. And they're going to punt the ball once again on a close game, single score with 1:52 in the half.
This game is very different, Tim, than the Popka game. That was a track meet. This is a slugfest. Field position game.
With better punt, but
a muff punt of their own.
Oh my goodness. All the Knots over pursued, Jeff, and ran right past the ball. And one of the trailing Eagles just landed on it.
That ball was there for the picking by the Dreadnoughts. They did not even get a hand on it. As you said, they over pursued it. David Hutchins was Johnny on the spot there for the Eagles.
I counted 5 orange jerseys ran past the ball. One 127 in the half. Jeff is going to take off and maybe go look for Coach Galloway, see if we can bring him up here for a halftime interview, as Roland trying to make something happen with 1:27 on the clock in the first half. They're going to run the ball. It'll continue to take time off the clock. We know they've got a great kicker, but you got to get about 40 yards in order for him to try anything. Second down and 9, under a minute now in the first half. Knots clinging to that 1-score lead. And that one didn't come easy. Second down and 9. Fake handoff rolling out to the outside, caught and out of bounds at the 38 is the Eagle receiver. Possible. And if he's trying 52, 53 yarders, they don't have to get but maybe 1 or 2 more decent plays, just like that. Roland spreading the field, has a single setback. He's just going to dive forward to try to pick up a first down, and it's going to be close. I think Roland may have it. His body fell forward before his knee went down, so he's going to have a first down with 31 seconds left as the clock stops to set the chains.
Timeout, Eagles. That is their second charge timeout of the first half.
Eagles take a timeout with 31.5 on the clock to talk things over. They're going to try their best to make the most of this half a minute and put some points on the board before halftime, maybe get a little bit of momentum going their way, as they will also be receiving the ball in the second half. So that could be, in a close game, a big move if they were able to pick up some points. As we'll just keep it here for a moment. Reminder again for those Dreadnought fans out there that homecoming was moved to October 13th, and the dance will be October 14th in the LHS gym. We are back to the Booster Club meetings on Monday night, the regular time at 7 p.m. in the LHS film room. That is the locker room. Come listen to Coach Castle, the historic, legendary Coach Bill Castle, after his 500th game. Yet to be determined if it's a W or not. We certainly hope so. Rolling shotgun. 31 ticks left in the first half, trying to make this even a closer game. He's going to take 3 steps back, and he's looking to go deep. Has pressure, though. Wrapped up and down. Key play by the defender holding on. He was trying to get loose because he had a man sprinting downfield that could have broken free, but number 23 for the Knots did not let him go. A.J. Thomas, the 11th grade listed running back, defensive player, did a fine job of holding Roland, and that will do it. They're not going to take their chances on running another play. And we'll end the first half with your Lakeland High School Dreadnoughts leading 7-0 here in the 4th regular season game after a few cancellations. The Knots trying to go 4-0 on the season. And we'll take a timeout and be back here with you at the Harry's Seafood halftime show, hopefully with an interview with Coach Bill Galloway. Stay with us.
High school juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveForExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different and we prove it.
Why buy at Regal Chevrolet in Lakeland? We're family owned, serving Central Florida for 40 years with a new facility, including a new service department, exceptional service from a staff that gets it right the first time, a clean, comfortable customer lounge, and over 20 acres of our $8 million inventory, all priced to move. Last chance for model year-end savings. Shop online 24/7. Plus, we'll even deliver to your home or office. Trust Regal Chevrolet in Lakeland.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
We always give you more to love at Regal Chevy in Lakeland.
I couldn't be happier with my experience. The sales department was so friendly, and they made it easy to find a vehicle to fit my budget.
Brand new 2017 Cruises in stock with payments just $130 a month. Drive the all-new redesigned 2018 Equinox for only $200 a month. Fall in love with Regal Chevy in Lakeland. Community-minded, customer-focused, and family-owned for over 41 years.
Sal says yes, you pay.
Welcome, everybody, to the press box high above Bill Castle Field as we are in the Harry's Seafood halftime show. And we thank you for staying with us and joining us again. A little bit of time to breathe after the past few weeks and enjoy some high school football here the Lakeland Dreadnought way. And we have a saying, of course, that once a Dreadnought, always a Dreadnought, and we hold that very dear, certainly. And so Jeff Goddard right now is trying to get down on the field, and I see several, this was supposed to be homecoming. I see several players from past that actually played during that Bill Galloway era that are down there on the field talking to Coach Galloway. And so Jeff is going to see if he can take the microphone and maybe go down and do a interview right there on the field with Coach Galloway, which would be a treat to see him after a long time, and again had a big part in a lot of those wins that we had in, of course, 500 games for Coach Bill Castle. So we're going to take it down to the field right now. Jeff Goddard with Coach Galloway.
All right, this is Jeff Goddard on the Harry Seafood Halftime Show down here in the field with Coach Bill Galloway, the longtime offensive line coach here under Bill Castle, and his son Travis, who play here at Lakeland, and one of Coach Galloway's 6 grandsons, Greg, Travis's youngest son. Coach Galloway, let's start off with you. You were here for about 24 years, from 1980 to 2004. Talk to them about your time here at Lakeland and working under Coach Bill Castle.
It was good. Me and him just clicked, got along real well. We'd butt heads sometimes because he wants to throw the ball and I want to run the ball. But it was a great 25 years.
Like all offensive line coaches, it's always time to run the ball, right?
That's what you're supposed to do to win.
I've always said one of the keys to Coach Castle's success was the tenure of a lot of the assistant coaches, and you're chief among them here a quarter of a century. What's one of the things that you learned from Coach Castle? I know you also coached up in Tennessee once you moved to there. What's one of the things maybe you took with you up to Tennessee that you learned with Coach Castle?
Cover everything. Do everything like you're supposed to do it. Don't overlook anything or anybody. Just outwork everybody.
Real quick, what are your impressions of the Lakeland offensive line tonight, Coach Galloway?
They're big, strong-looking kids. I'd like to have them.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Now, you still coaching or you retired?
I retired officially June 5th of this past June.
Well, that's a long time in coaching.
It's 43 total years.
I saw you talking with some of your former players a while ago. How neat is that to see some of your former offensive linemen?
They got on Facebook. We just happened to be here. We didn't set it up. And I could put together a pretty good line from right over there.
I'm sure you could. I see Dax Gingras and Corey Schofield, I think.
Yeah, with Travis and Dax Gingras and Slager, Curtis Wright. I could go on and on.
We'll put them out in the field. We might even get bigger holes than we have now.
They could probably still play. They were mean. They were mean.
Let me go to your son now. Travis, you played here from in the mid-'80s. You were the first state championship team. You offensive line as well, correct?
Yes, we had a great offensive line. We were kind of undersized at the time, but we were mean.
And you played center, right?
Yes, I played offensive center from 85 to 88.
What was it like playing for Coach Castle?
Interesting. You know, at one time you think you know what play you're going to get, and then he'll throw you another play, and you better be ready to play.
Now, and also, what about playing for your dad? And I know that can be an interesting dynamic sometimes. What was it like playing for your dad as an offensive lineman?
The coaching part was great because he had a lot of knowledge. It was the intangibles where driving to practice or driving from practice or games that he felt like was not, up to par. I'd have a little additional communication.
The coaching never ended, did it?
No. He even wake me up in bed and start coaching. So
Now, you were one of the special few who can say you were on Coach Castle's first state championship team. What are your memories from that game and that season?
Just how the guys were all good friends, and we're a strong team too. We had over 30 players benching over 300 pounds, and we love to play, and we love to play for each other.
I know you went on to play at Auburn. What about some of the things you learned from Coach Castle at Lakeland? Did it translate well up to Auburn? Did you feel like maybe you were more prepared than some of your teammates when you got to Auburn?
Yeah, I feel if I didn't have the chance to go to Lakeland that Auburn would be a culture shock because, I learned to win here. And in the SEC, it's no different there. With a state championship ring, that was the goal, getting an SEC championship ring. So the level of competition was higher, but not the desire.
I got you. Real fast, Greg, do you play football?
I used to, and I really want to so bad.
All right, well, talk to your dad, see if we can get you playing again, okay?
Okay.
That's all from down in the field in the Harry Seafood Halftime Shows that rolls on. Thank you to the entire Galloway family for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Jeff Goddard. Impromptu, Jeff was able to see a lot of the past players from the seasons that Coach Galloway was the offensive line coach. And that's the miracle of Facebook, right? And social media, they knew that the Galloways were going to be here, and those that were around the area and that could make it tonight came to show their support for Coach Galloway. So, again, we talk about 500 games for Coach Bill Castle. He's had obviously numerous coaches along the way, but none that were with him longer than the 25-year stint roughly that Coach Bill Galloway was. And so they were hand in hand. And you saw even some of the dynamic, a lot of that doesn't go away when you talk about the coaching styles. Here, Coach Galloway says, hey, I got my guys ready. Let's pound the ball. Let's run it. And Coach Castle is saying, nope, let's pass the ball. Let's throw the ball. So even now you can tell that was something that was contentious with them all in along, but obviously worked because an incredible stint there that Coach Galloway had in state championships, and his coach, of course, coached his son, Travis Galloway, who went to Auburn, who I knew pretty well in school. Travis was a few years younger than me, but got to know him. And again, they weren't huge the year that Travis was a senior, but they were scrappy. And he mentioned something that stood out to me is, the conditioning of these Lakeland players, they're just stronger a lot of times than a lot of the other players. And we see that showing up in the fourth quarters a lot when Lakeland would just wear down people and really have their way with people in the fourth quarters because of that strength and conditioning. So not unlike what we see today, Coach Castle continues the legacy, and it's good again to see some family return here to Lakeland High School, and a great interview by Jeff Goddard. So we're going to take it back just for a few moments for some word from our sponsors. We'll come back and give you, again, the rundown of the first half and as we enter the second half and the Harry Seafood halftime show. Stay with us.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Again, a quick sponsor, Harry's Seafood at the halftime show. And let's take it down and listen to the band for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and set up the second half.
A warranty with unlimited miles. Regal Kia in Lakeland is Central Florida's only family-owned dealership to offer a lifetime warranty on every new Kia sold for as long as you own your vehicle. Regal is Lakeland's volume Kia dealer with over 250 new Kias available. Online at regalkia.com. We offer a family buying experience in our spacious new facility and exceptional service with pickup and delivery after the sale. Serving Central Florida for 40 years. See why so many people trust Regal Kia next to Lakeland High School. No cash? No problem. Wave and save at Regal Kia in Lakeland. Buy now and Regal Kia will make your monthly payments till next year. Shop over 500 vehicles online at regalkia.com with delivery to your home or office. Act now and drive your choice. New 2017 Kia Soul, only $144 a month. Or new 2017 Kia Optima, just $147 a month. Plus, we offer a lifetime warranty. Wave and save. Family owned for over 41 years. Trust Regal Kia.
Sal says yes, you pay less.
Agni Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agni Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
See the Lakeland High School cheerleaders as we are continuing the Harry's Seafood halftime show. Just under 2 minutes to go before we get back to action in the second half, and a tight contest here tonight. The last time the Knots played, we saw the same type of ball game, except there were a whole lot more digits on the board as far as points. But this one's just as close, staying to a one-score ball game. They're not playing around. East Lake came in here with a very good defense, from what I see, and one of the better defenses I've seen in a long time. Again, you're going to have to fight and scrap for every point. Even the touchdown that we had didn't come easy. We had to fight all the way to the fourth down and push it just barely over the goal line, and even that was in question. So the defenses both are doing a good job. A couple missed field goals by the Eagles, or this game could even be tighter. Could be 7-6 ball game for sure. A couple missed cues, but overall, I think Thomas has played soundly. He's had a couple passes dropped that should have been there. We had that one long one in the first half that would have been a tricky catch as it was kind of over the shoulder, but that could have certainly made a difference, as the Knots band's now getting a break after their halftime show, and the Knots are coming back onto the field for a brief warm-up. Again, good to see Coach Galloway back here on Bill Castle Field. As he told you, he coached all the way up until June, where he officially retired just this past June. So now enjoying the kids and grandkids up in Tennessee. Good crowd here tonight at Bryant Stadium as we continue the waning moments of the Harry's Seafood halftime show. I think everyone was a little restless to get out of the house, get out and get some fresh air. Turned out to be a beautiful night here, just a slight breeze. And no hint of any kind of rain or lightning that would cause any delays, which we're happy for. And that's been the story really around the first 3 or 4 games in just about every Central Florida team. I'd say even extending beyond that with obvious weather as of late, and even before that, just a normal summer storm pattern. Now officially into fall, as in a few weeks we'll start to see those cold fronts just edge ever so closer, making their way into Florida a little bit more south as they go, and hopefully feeling that cooler air, drier air start to reach us here in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Well, if you like close games, hang in there. This has got that feeling of going to right down to the wire and maybe even a field goal kind of deal. Both the Knots and the Eagles, pretty stout kickers in and of themselves. And it may come down to that here as we thank Harry's again for sponsoring the halftime, and the Knots making their last preparations to enter into the second half. And again, they're going to be kicking away. Jesse Williams with the tee in his hand. See what adjustments, if any, and how the Knots come out, what kind of energy level they have. Don't have any official stats for you in the first half, but I'd with fair confidence would guess that they're not that impressive on offense. Not what we're probably used to seeing, both on the ground and in the air. Total yards would be probably half or less of what we normally would see in any given first half for the Knots on offense. We've notoriously been that third quarter team. At least we'd like to think we kind of have that edge. I'm still looking and hoping for that defensive big turnover, either another pick six or a fumble recovery to get things jump started as Jesse kicks a nice one 7 yards deep into the end zone, and number 3 will wisely wait and take it out to the 20. Good job, Mr. Goddard. He sits back down in the chair. All right, officially underway with, again, the coin toss obviously going the Eagles' way. They deferred to the second half, and that's why they have the ball right now at the 20-yard line.
Galloway's all seem to be doing well. We saw Miss Galloway down there as well. And
cool.
Entire family, Sarah.
Very nice. I was watching you guys from up here in the press box.
Good trick play here. The quarterback's
man-to-man coverage. Number 10 is rolling out and playing in the scout. He just dumps the ball. They're going to get there wisely because he was out of the pocket. He was able to get an incomplete pass, but he was going down.
I think they're going to mark it down there. I think they're
going to mark him down. Maybe his knee might have hit before he released the ball.
Yeah, that's
wow, 9-yard loss.
A sack for the Dreadnoughts. I did not tell. I couldn't tell who made that a sack, but definitely we're going to count for a sack. Great hustle play there by the Dreadnought, chasing him down, get his knee down before he's able to get rid of the ball. I'm not exactly sure what they were doing there. I mean, they didn't really fool anybody. That's Tucker Gleason, the backup quarterback.
I think he's still in it.
Yeah, they got number 12 lined up out here.
Trying something different. He's going to run the ball. They're trying to just do something different, Jeff. They've not had success, so they're going to try something totally different.
Game still.
Well, he's definitely an athlete, obviously.
They might be setting up a double pass, maybe, perhaps, too.
We saw Roland with his ability to run a little bit, but no gain there. And so right off the bat, the Eagles have a 3rd and 19 coming out of the gate. Lakeland defense
nice if
can
Lakeland can hold
capitalize.
Get field position and maybe.
Now I have special teams. Both teams have been bobbling kicks, and it's almost one of those nights where you just maybe get away from the ball and let it go.
Always nice to get that double score lead.
Still put a stop on 3rd and 19, and they get the outside, and he's going to get it and more. Trying to get the angle. He's going to have to come all the way across the field and gets tackled into Dreadnought territory at the 46, but huge gain at the flag on the play way back deep, though, Jeff Goddard.
Might be that's Finley Graham made the tackle, perhaps touchdown saving tackle.
Boy, that would be a big hold. Oh, boy, it is holding for the Eagles.
Wow.
That was huge. Maybe that's why he got to the outside.
Well, I was about to say that might be one of those situations where their penalty had a direct effect on the success of the play. Because they haven't really been able to do that all night. Only one other time that have been able to really get outside, but nothing quite like that. I wish in high school they told you who it was on. I'm curious if it was on maybe a receiver even, as opposed to offensive lineman blocking on the perimeter out there.
How would you do on a 3rd and 23? Do you bring the house and just try to?
They're probably going to do a draw play here.
We'll see. Playing their normal defensive coverage on a 3rd and 24. Roland is near the goal line. He's going to step back, take 2 steps, and just
Gleason again, I think.
Yeah, just really try to get his punter out of the shadow of the end zone is all he's doing there.
I mean, we just need to make sure we field the punt successfully. If it's one of those
or let it go.
Yeah, if it's one of those, I was just about to say, if it's one of those tricky punts, where it kind of driving you back, it's got to spin on, just let it bounce.
And it will be the duty of one Finley Graham to make that decision, make that call. Hopefully he makes the right one. We know they have a great kicker, so I would think he needs to stand back. Well, I'd say even 5 yards deeper. He always can come up on it, but see if the knots come. Good snap. They're going to let him punt it away. A little bit of a end over end, not as good as normal, and that does take a few hops. He does field it and makes a spin move, trying to get to the outside. Just going to go down, thrown down with authority.
He had one more guy to get by.
Yeah,
if he could have bounced it outside, he had a lot of room to run for sure there on the left side of the field.
Poor Finley's shoulders and arms have taken a beating tonight. He's got hit a few times, slung down there at near midfield. Still good field position to start things off in the second half for the Knots.
I think one of the interesting things, Tim, that Coach Galloway said there about when I asked him what he had learned working under Coach Castle, and he said everything matters, the details. That's something that, if I remember correctly, 2 weeks ago, Coach Darlington said the same thing about attention to detail, Definitely a Castle hallmark for sure.
Defense comes up, man coverage. Thomas fakes the handoff to Roland, throws it over to Zipper, makes a good move over the middle of the field, trying to get to the outside.
Keon.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. He's got that ball waving, and the late flag comes in. Maybe a face mask as it was going down. His helmet did come off, so it probably certainly could be a face mask.
As you see Keon there sporting a little bit of the fro.
Shake that one off a little bit. Got raked across the face. Personal foul face mask, just what we suspected, even though you couldn't see it.
That's going to get the ball inside the 20-yard. It'll be in the red zone.
Knots moving here on their first possession of the second half. 17-yard line now they get. Still a one-score game, so the Knots would love to try to put a little bit of space in between them and the Eagles. Good opportunity. Fresh set of downs at the 17. Thomas gets a snap, fakes the handoff to Bowman and throws a deep pass, man-to-man coverage, and it's bounced off. Caught! Touchdown Knots! There's a highlight for you. Should have been an interception, but number 7, Whitehead, just stayed with the play, got the rebound. Touchdown Knots on a lucky TD. Head awareness. That was good.
Kavaris Thomas is taking a deep sigh of relief right there because that was not a well-thrown ball. And the cornerback there for the Eagles had both hands on, just couldn't come up with it. It's the old tip drill. Normally it's the defense that practices the tip drill, but this time the tip drill worked for the Lakeland offense. Antonio Whitehead, who had 2 rushing touchdowns 2 weeks ago against the Popka, has a receiving touchdown tonight.
That was a 500th game lucky kind of bounce there as the Knots get one for sure and go up 2 scores now.
What's the matter with Jesse? He didn't hit the naughty board this time, the naughty tron. What happened?
We'll have to talk to him about that.
Man,
9:31
he must be tired.
remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The Knots go on top by 2 scores, 14-0. We'll take a brief time.
You don't win 409 games without getting lucky occasionally.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Bartow Ford is proud to announce that we've won the President's Award for the 19th time. You would need to leave the state of Florida to find a dealer that's won it more. Sales volume and customer satisfaction is how you win. And let's face it, you wouldn't sell a lot of vehicles if you didn't offer the lowest price around and take care of customers the very best. But why don't I have them up on the wall? Because a long time ago, my father taught me that our people are what make the difference. Other dealerships, they can have their gimmicks and games. We'll take people that care. Bartow Ford, we're different, and we prove it.
So officially the scoring play, 17 yards from Thomas to Whitehead. What you didn't see is how it got in the hands of Whitehead, which, well, you did see it, but we didn't get to see the replay on again, through the end zone kick by Jesse Williams. But we'll take it. It's like that golf shot that you hit off a tree and it ends up on the green. You need that luck sometimes, and the Knots
off the sidewalk.
Off the sidewalk.
However it gets there. Get her done.
Just as they drew it up, I'm sure.
Could you see down there, Tim, when we first got down there with Coach Galloway and Travis, there's a bunch of former Lakeland offensive linemen down there waiting to greet Coach Galloway.
I was saying that's the beauty of social media is you get the word out that you're going to be in town,
Facebook,
and everyone can.
Most of those guys were classmates of mine. A lot of those guys played here in the early 90s. Josh Slager and Corey Schofield and Dax Gingras.
Number 12 now back at quarterback, rolling, looking for some room. Madden on the run. They get him. He just ran out of real estate there on the sideline. He was looking downfield and just east to west, had nowhere to go. Good pursuit by Madden.
Well, Madden hit them initially down by the waist, and his linebacker buddy, Ja'Quarius Smith, finished him off with the shot up top.
Jack Smith's had an active game tonight. Both Madden and Smith all over the place. Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Strong eye. Man-to-man coverage on the outside. They're just going to go with their bull, who gets wrapped up by the horns early that time and wrestled down. Looked like that rodeo was dead from the start. Good play by the defense.
I'm not exactly sure what that experiment was in that last drive with having Roland lined up as wide receiver. I'm not surprised at all seeing him back at quarterback.
Tucker Gleason, who was that quarterback, now back in the wide receiver slot here out to the near side. He's going to take 3 steps, fire it. Caught right at the shy of the first down marker by maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, maybe
drops
3.
to a knee.
Never good to drop to your knees
no.
when you're short of the first down marker on 3rd down.
It would be risky to go for it here with the Knots already up 2 scores. They're going to punt it away, and Finley Graham will go back to receive. Now the Knots getting a little bit of mo. Jeff Goddard.
Yes, sir.
Nice stop, and they've had all the field position here in the second half so far. Good snap.
Oh, close. Uh-oh.
Big punt again. Get out of there. Oh, fair catch. That's not a bad idea.
Wow, I'm surprised the ref didn't throw a flag or
roughing the path. The
kicker,
punter was lobbying for it. He was saying, "Hey, what happened to the?"
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been a personal foul, but I could definitely have seen him calling the non-personal foul variety.
Oh, that would have been a first down too, with only 4 yards to go. So good starting field position here at our own 42-yard line.
I was talking to Travis Galloway off the camera there. He played at Auburn, as we talked about. He had a couple of SEC championship rings from his first couple of years there.
Very cool.
He was at the end of the Pat Dye era.
Mm-hmm. Neat experience getting to see winning program in high school and at the next level.
Yep.
Bowman now have some room to work with. Finally to the outside. Bowman picks up a first down and maybe 13, 14 yards total in that carry.
Might be his best run of the night.
Yeah,
so far. They've done a pretty good job of keeping him bottled up.
as you said, that's the first time he's really had any room to work, and he's dangerous when he has a seam, but they just haven't given him anything. Coming up with a fresh set of downs into Eagle territory. Thomas doing a good job of leading the troops. He's held off, and Zipper had it again. That was an interesting play as Thomas kind of held up. He kind of cocked his arm, and Zipper quite wasn't in position yet, so he held it for just a second longer, let him free up, and he was in position. Should have been a catch again, but bounced off.
Put the ball right in the money. Yeah, great job by Thomas waiting and hitting him in stride. That could have been maybe a touchdown. He had some room to run. He hit him in stride, just couldn't come up with it. Zipper, very highly touted junior, high up on the recruiting boards for the class of 2019. But as all young players, still have some things to work on.
So if there has been any rust to mention of or rust to shake off, it's probably been in the receiving core from what we're seeing as the flags fly before the play got in full swing here. Usually going to go against the Knots. Pushing back 5, I believe, on a second down. Second and 15, still in Eagle territory, but just barely at the 49 and a half.
If the Dreadnoughts, and hopefully they will, hold on and win this game. I'm starting to think about which player I would interview. Of course, you want to interview Coach Castle after the game, but so far there hasn't really been one player who's stuck out.
Unusual for us. We usually start to develop something here in the third quarter that.
Kind of a hard-fought game, no doubt.
Right now, I'm maybe leaning towards the defensive players, but
yeah, maybe so.
A second and 15. Hopefully, the offense gets things moving here. Plenty of room, good protection that time. Thomas has some time. Good block there. Stops, flag on the play.
They're going to block in the back.
Yeah, they're going to get a block in the back and a sack. That's going to be
but you
not a good
see
result.
A block in the back, like on a pass play, but well, actually, no, they didn't call a block in the back. I guess shot to the head. I guess illegal contact to the head. Yeah, blow to the head. But you actually could have called it a block in the back, which you never see, like when a guy's trying to set the quarterback. But instead of getting for illegal contact or blow to the head.
It's different in high school. You don't see that. It's not targeting per se like you've been seeing in college a lot this year. They've been calling those a lot more, Jeff. Those
incorrectly sometimes.
Yeah, that's a tough one. When you're going full speed and someone lowers their head and you happen to hit helmet to helmet. But that's just with all the injuries to obviously pro athletes as well and concussions, they're just not taking any chances. And this time it's a 15-yarder against the Knot, so it'll be second down and a zip code.
Cab ride.
Yeah, an Uber ride.
They got to get out to the 44, the Eagles, and we're now at the 25. So that's about 31. Second and 31.
Easy pickup. It's even longer than that.
Clearly,
second and 41.
No, it's 31. 25 to oh no, I was looking at the.
You're looking at the first marker. You got to go 10 more yards.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, wow, second and 41. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong marker there. I was about to tell you need to brush up on your math, but I need to brush up on my vision. And you're a financial guy.
I know it.
I know you know your math.
Got to keep the numbers going. Throwing over to the sideline, but nothing doing for Lawson. They converged on him right after he caught the ball. A little bit of late hitting going on. the ref let it go though.
Yeah, the refs have kind of let. I mean,
I like their pace of the game. I like how they're calling necessary plays, but not getting in the way. I like this crew. They've done a good job.
Where's Felipe Franks when you need him?
Yeah,
throw the ball 67 yards in the air. What a play hunt him in that game by the Gators last week.
Just a short 3rd and 40. Not a big deal, right?
They get 1 yard in that last play, so
yeah.
we're making progress.
Inching closer.
Yeah, why not take a shot downfield?
Timeout, Coach Bill Castle with 6:04 remaining in the third quarter. Probably very close to the water break. You should just go ahead and double it up here with 6:04 left, but
I don't know they can do that. I might have to call.
I think they have to have a separate. Yeah. We'll keep it right here for a moment at Bill Castle Field and Bryant Stadium. Knott's in a tussle with the East Lake Eagles, who've proven themselves on defense, have yet to punch through on the offensive side. They've had a couple long field goal attempts, but I was going to say not come up short, I mean, theoretically, but they actually had enough distance. They were just off the mark.
Of all the 500 games Coach Castle's coached in, Tim, not a lot have been like this, lower scoring defensive field position game. But hey, when you win 409, but before Tim, you have to win them all different kinds of ways.
See what Coach Castle cooked up here on a 3rd and 40 is interesting formation as he sends Bowman in motion across the backside. Inside handoff to Whitehead. Whitehead spins around, makes another good cut, but I'm telling you what.
That spin move.
He does, but strong tackling. Boy, number 55 is just punishing people downfield. I mean, he is just getting downfield and crushing people. Tanner Howe is hitting hard, and Howe.
Yeah. Here's your water break now.
And it might be an actual injury timeout.
But he did signal for that.
Okay,
the water
so
break.
they're doing
We're
double
going to
duties.
take a timeout and quick commercial break. We'll be right back with you. 1, 2, 1.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Back here at Bryant Stadium, and the good news is the player for East Lake just popped up, and I think he just got the proverbial air knocked right out of his gut, and it took him a second to get the air back in his lungs. And so he popped up, walked off fine, and I think he has to sit out of play, but we'll be back on the field on a good try by Whitehead, who was spinning around, as you said, jostling on the inside handoff. Often those can go if you can break through and then cut to the outside. They can go for big yards. But
as we saw 2 weeks ago, he had 2 long runs.
Yeah,
on that play.
From that same play. Disciplined defense, though, for the Eagles.
Earlier you were talking about, concussions and everything. We had, saw one of the players get hit, on that penalty there. Did you see the news yesterday about Aaron Hernandez, former Gator and Patriot tight end?
I heard something, but no, I mean.
Yeah, of course, he died, right. Obviously, a few months ago in prison. And his family donated his brain, to the study project that have gone up in Boston to study, concussions and brains and stuff. And they said he had CTE. Nice punt. I'll finish that thought in a second.
Madden there.
He's got some room.
Made him switch directions. Number 9.
He's gone.
See you later. Down the sideline he goes. Then number 3, rather.
That's their playmaker, Joshua Bowers, their cornerback and wide receiver, getting it done on special teams. Tonight is...
Not been a good night on special teams for the Knots.
No, I was just about to say that's definitely the one phase of the game where the Eagles are clearly winning is special teams, even though they have missed some field goals. But other than that, they have looked great on special teams.
Well, Robert Madden, kind of did his job. He made the runner switch directions, and then he was supposed to look up for some backup. But I'll tell you what, he picked his way through the orange jerseys. Yeah, and then got to the outside. High snap.
Well, that's a high snap, but he's going to get it over.
Not the prettiest of extra points, but the kicker did a good job of keeping his composure. And now back to a one-score game.
So while ago, we up 14-0 on the first play from that last drive. We had a 13-yard gain down to about the Eagles' 41-yard line. And at that point, we're in good position to maybe go up 3 scores. Sack, penalty.
Yeah.
Next thing you know,
quick turnaround there,
punting,
Jeff.
And then they took it to the house. So before you barely blink your eyes, now it's 14-7. Eastlake is back in the game.
I mean, I guess you could count a 17-yard touchdown reception to Whitehead as a big play, but I mean, not a normal big play like we see from the Knots. So that has really been the first big play of the night coming on special teams for the Eagles on the run back all the way to pay dirt in the north end zone. Dreadnought's still looking for the big play. They've had some opportunities, but the defense for the Eagles has been thwarting them.
Yeah, we just haven't quite been able to really hit. We missed some big opportunities in the passing game today. Some chances have been there. We haven't been quite able to connect.
Again, another miscue by the special teams, dropping the ball. Well,
his foot was in the ends anyways.
So there's the lack of practice showing up a little bit, Jeff.
Yeah, on the special teams.
Two
low snap led to a block
yeah.
punt, and then the punt return for a touchdown, and then that there as well. And a muff punt.
Yeah. Coaching going on from the sidelines here, the bench coaches. Not that different if you have a spouse as the backseat driver or the co-pilot driver. Some of it justified probably. As we see Thomas back to work. 1st and 20, fires it out. Decent block, but again, the defense just stingy for the Eagles.
He held him for a second, but he wasn't able to really drive him back.
Short gain, 2 yards.
Tackled by Joshua Green. Big gain, 2 yards, brings up 2nd down and 8.
Just impressed with the cornerbacks holding their position, even when the Lakeland Dreadnoughts normally have these great blocks that spring the wide receivers. The defenders are fighting off the blocks and getting to the ball. Fake handoff, rolling out Thomas. Thomas buying some time, maybe a hold there as he flings it down. Number 7's wide open, but that's going to come back. There's a flag on the play, and that play is coming back for a hold in the backfield.
Unless it's a some obscure defensive penalty, but highly unlikely.
So the Eagles had a big one called back, and that one.
That was a big play in the passing game we've been waiting for all night. Coach Harbin told me last night in our weekly Thursday night text exchange about their opponent that this would be a tough game and a 48-minute game and be a battle in the 4th quarter. And it looks like Coach Harbin's going to – sometimes he oversells opponents, but tonight, in true Lou Holtz fashion, but tonight I think he was speaking the truth to me last night this week.
So not only, again, do you obviously take points off the board, or not really off the board, but you lose 10 yards on the hold, 2nd down and 20. So the Lakeland Knots on offense finding themselves in a very precarious position the last few series. Good news is they can't have a 2nd down and 41 again, as they're right there on the end zone. Handoff to Bowman. Bowman has a good run. Nice cut back to the middle. Bowman fighting his way out to the 30, 35. Fantastic run. 1st down, Bowman. His best run of the night in the interior.
And we needed it at that moment.
Slicing through the defense.
Jamarcus Bowman stepping up when his team needs him the most.
Huge 1st down just to get a little momentum going and kind of shake the EBGBs away. Lawson and Graham here on the near side. Handoff, Bowman again trying to get him some momentum with the ball. Picks up 3 yards. Boy, tough hitting going on. They're going to get the last guy, of course. They're going to get the Lakeland guy on the personal foul. But I saw the Eagle player kind of get a late hit in on him, but the refs weren't looking at it.
Maybe we'll call it offsetting.
No, they didn't see him. They saw our guy pushing up on the helmet. So it'll be, unfortunately, just against us. It was against both. It should be both, but
they're not talking about.
I don't
it
know.
for
Maybe they did see something there before.
Yeah, it's very rare that you see the refs talk about a penalty this long, so it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing.
I think it's going to be offsetting, just like you said, actually, now that they're conferring that long.
Oh, unless they're talking about maybe a possible ejection. They're making notes.
Well, look, they all got the pocket. They all got the books out.
Yeah, I know they're saying some kind of a blow to the head or something when they meant.
It's like the caddy books they got going. Unless, as you always say, someone was giving them the business down in the pile, and they.
Yeah, maybe someone's giving them the business. It'd make my night if the referee came out and said that. It'd make Michael Barrett's night too.
Wow, we've rarely seen the.
Michael, I'm buying dinner tonight if he says he was giving him the business. Oh yeah, they're ejecting somebody.
They're talking.
Somebody's getting. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be offsetting. I think it's going to be just against Lakeland, and someone's getting perhaps ejected. I hope it's not Bowman. Bowman came out the field.
Yeah, he did. He's on the sideline sitting down on the bench. He's got his hands over his face thinking might be 2 ejections. Might be the double. What mystery will be revealed here? I just gave the props to this crew about 6 or 7 minutes ago, saying they were doing a great job.
Let's see what he's going to say here.
We're going to either hear lots of boos. This might be a long. He might have to go to the notebook for the long explanation. Personal foul, knots. Kicking. Ejecting.
There was a deep ball personal foul against the Dreadnoughts.
Huh. So very one-sided.
I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, it's on DeMarcus Bowman because not only does he have his head and his hands down the bench, a lot of his teammates come by talking to him. So unfortunately, we just lost our tailback here. We're still 4 minutes to go in the third quarter.
That's big.
In a tightening game.
He just was starting to get things going, too.
Kavaris Thomas, it's time to captain this ship home to a victory.
Thomas looking on a swing pass and just kept it himself.
Almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
He's going to swing it out to Whitehead, and Whitehead wasn't looking.
Yeah.
He wasn't looking for the ball, so he just took it and ran with it and made something positive on a second down.
Third and about 12. So pick up about 9 on the play.
So now you basically scratch off about a third of your plays. Every play with number 22 in it, you just mark off.
Yeah, now Kadar Hall will get those carries. Or Whitehead might get some more carries as well.
Maybe situationally where you would give it to Bowman only. Now you're not going to call that play, but 3rd and 12 nonetheless. Key third down for the Knots here with the Eagles 1 score away. And a timeout called by Coach Castle.
Lakeland's second timeout of the second half, but you only have 1 left. That makes me feel uncomfortable if we,
that's a little.
If they come back and tie the game.
A little squirrely with 3:33. Dreadnoughts up 14-7 in the second half, third quarter. We'll take it to our sponsors and be back with you here in just a moment.
We always give you more to love at Regal Chevy in Lakeland.
I couldn't be happier with my experience. The sales department was so friendly, and they made it easy to find a vehicle to fit my budget.
Brand new 2017 Cruises in stock with payments just $130 a month. Drive the all-new redesigned 2018 Equinox for only $200 a month. Fall in love with Regal Chevy in Lakeland. Community-minded, customer-focused, and family-owned for over 41 years.
Sal says yes, you pay less.
Back with you as you see there, DeMarcus Bowman still feeling a little bit down on the bench as he was unfortunately ejected a few moments ago for a personal foul kicking infraction. So he's only a sophomore. Tim, would be a learning moment for him. I'm sure that's a mistake he will not make again.
3rd and 12. Thomas. Now that's the play they wanted, but it's
got
got to
to
jump on the ball. Get it. Or push it out of bounds.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
He throws it. I don't think that's possible. a lineman can't catch it, can he? I don't think a lineman can catch it, though.
Bumbling, stumbling.
I think that's got to be a flag.
Maybe after
it's fumbled?
I don't know. After you fumble it, can you do that? I mean, that's the play of the game. I just found out who I'm interviewing if that play stands.
Well, I've never seen anything like that, I don't think. Yeah.
That's number 50, Adam.
There's a flag late.
Desha.
I think that was some jawing on number 36, who actually was the one who incited the penalty on Bowman, so that would be some.
Don't forget, that was former quarterback Antonio Whitehead who threw that ball.
I mean, he threw a beautiful that was heads up. I mean, I don't know who he threw it to. It didn't really matter.
Adam and Desha who he threw it to. His favorite target, number 50.
Yeah, exactly who he was trying to get it to, right? That's hilarious.
Hey, that's a Coach Castle special there. The
We've had a couple
pass,
of them.
fumble it, pick it up, throw it to your offensive lineman across the field.
Well, that might be worth going to the Booster Club meeting just to hear that. I promise you're never going to hear what we just heard over the loudspeaker is Whitehead to number 50.
Adam and Desha.
Adam and Desha. You're not going to hear that again all season.
I tell you right now, if this play stands, it was like a lightning bolt who I'm going to interview. Adam, step up to the mic.
Well, number 36 is going off the field now. I'm pretty sure that the personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 36. First down.
The play stands.
And the play holds.
Adam and Desha, the hero of the night.
That's hilarious.
Maybe I'll have to interview Antonio and Adam.
That's a once-in-a-lifetime play when you're a
Adam
lineman.
is definitely getting interviewed tonight. Wow. That's made my night.
The Eagles coaches have got to be saying, "Are you kidding me? They're doing one of my
people at
deals."
Spectrum Sports, they have to be, freaking out too right now.
The play to Whitehead in the end zone, and now Whitehead makes the pass to Ndesha. And
don't forget, that's not just a big play in a game. That's a 3rd and 12. When you've lost all momentum, you just lost one of your best players, and there's blood in the water, and the Eagles, like a shark, are smelling it, and then you have that play happen. I mean, unbelievable. Hey, you got to pull out all the stops for
that's got to be one
Castle's 500th game, right?
That's got to be one of the high school plays of
the year.
if
not the decade.
Yeah, no, not the decade. But I mean, that certainly would go on the year highlights for any Florida team.
My brother Robbie just texted me and said, that dude has wheels for an offensive lineman. I agree.
I don't know about wheel. I'd give him like
he was doing pretty good. Once he got in midfield, you could tell he started breathing hard.
Maybe inner tubes. I don't know about the wheels.
He was doing pretty good, so he got about the 40.
Hey, he got upfield though.
50-yard line.
He was aware enough to
slowing down,
run the right direction.
He protected the ball.
Yeah.
It wasn't out,
1st and 10. Thomas.
He protected it better than Keon Zipper did a few plays ago.
The craziness. Thomas fakes the handoff to Whitehead and then takes it.
He should have gave it to Whitehead that time.
Keeper, no gain, loses a couple as a matter of fact. 2nd down and 12. I'm sure the webcast world will light up after that play. That's something else. I don't know if that looked as good on the webcast as it did here, but that was something to behold.
No doubt about it. One of the maybe the top play in the history of the webcast.
Weston Lawson went out, but there's a penalty flag movement on the Dreadnought offensive line. Penalty's killing us.
And I give credit to Antonio Whitehead for having enough sense to pick the ball up. Now, at first it looked like he wasn't going to pick it up.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I didn't know if he was going to push it out of bounds or what he was going to do.
I don't know if it dawned on him all of a sudden or if one of his teammates yelled at him, hey, pick the ball up, because for a second there it looked like he was thinking it was an incomplete pass, but clearly it wasn't because it was definitely behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, then he had so many decisions. He could have got it and just ran out of bounds, or he didn't. He switched directions, and just.
And then number 50 caught it and made a cut right in the middle of the field.
Chucked the ball 30 yards across the field. Oh. Second 18, though. The Dreadnoughts going the wrong direction here. They need to get something going the right way. Whitehead outside. He's got some room. Get a block. Oh, they didn't get to the blocker, and I thought number 12 was going to get in on the action. I thought Lawson.
He didn't trust his block there.
Yeah, he did.
He had his wide receiver out there. I'm not sure if that was
Lawson.
Lawson, maybe. All he had to do was
stay to the outside.
He had to just hold the block for 2 seconds. And Whitehead's got plenty of speed. He had a chance to bounce it outside. I was like, he's got it, and then he stopped and tried to cut back inside. But you got to trust your blocking, and give your receiver, your teammate there, a chance to make that block and bounce it outside. He could have had a big play on the.
So third and 15.
On that play, I should say.
Thomas still in the shotgun, fakes the handoff a little bit. Roland looking for some room, throws it over. Man-to-man coverage too far, and a penalty flag.
They're going to get pass interference. That's a little bit of a ticky-tack call, but we'll take it.
I think it might be defensive pass interference.
Well, no, it's on them. Yeah,
I'm sorry, actually offensive. Yeah, I meant offensive. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if it was offensive, but we'll see. Nope, defensive pass interference. Yeah, that was a little iffy.
Ticky-tack. Yeah, I didn't think it was on us at all. I just kind of thought it, yeah. First half, just Crew was letting them play. Second half, not so much.
Now they're getting in the flow. Bowman, of course, ejected on this series earlier for unsportsmanlike, but those are tough calls to make, certainly, and he nothing more than a guy that wants to be on the field. He's sitting down there, he'd love to be playing and helping his team, but.
Tim, I feel like on that last play there, the big play there to Adam and Desha, you could have channeled your inner Jack Buck from the 1988 World Series, the Kirk Gibson home run.
Yeah.
I don't believe what I just saw. I don't believe what I just saw.
Yeah, and normally, again, he would have been an ineligible receiver, but it didn't matter since it was a free ball. It was a fumble. So after the recovery, all things are off.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
Keith Corney in Texas said, I still can't believe
and it was
they let that play stand. Unbelievable.
It was behind the line
we're
the whole
shocked
time.
Too, Keith.
Thomas.
Oh, no. Oh.
Late flag.
I don't see a flag. Is there a flag?
They brought some serious pressure that time.
I thought he avoided the sack for a second, but then he had nowhere to go.
Thomas is down at the 21, shaking up a little bit. He gets helped up by one of his players. He got hit hard. They're going to wave the flag off.
No flag. All right, so Coach Castle, what do you do? Do you kick a 38-yard field goal? Yep, he's sending out Jesse Williams. Let's see what he can do here.
With this tight of a game.
Oh, yeah, you want to get it back to a two-possession game for sure. And by the way, Tim, both my mom and my brother Robbie texted and said, yes, it looked that good on the webcast.
Good.
That great on the webcast.
JW.
Actually, it's going to be a little bit longer. Yeah, 30. No, it's just 38.
One of the biggest
field goal.
Field goals. He's got to hurry though. Oh, movement. He put it through too.
Oh, he nailed it.
Ugh.
Hey, he had distance for that. I mean, now it's 43. If he kicks the same kick he just kicked, he'll make it.
We've had some timing issues, obviously, not just tonight on special teams, but with some of his kicks. They've been blocked a few times on his field goals just because it takes too long to develop.
Yeah, well, what happened there, too?
Now what are they doing? They're moving the ball back. Same spot.
Huh? What?
I don't know.
He's like, coaches got to be asking what's going on.
High snap down.
He nailed it.
Nice kick, JW. Way to go, Jesse.
What a weapon.
That's beautiful. With authority. That would have been good from easily another 10 yards.
I've never seen that before. Where you just
yeah, I don't know.
Not mark it off. That was unusual to say the least.
What a good game. Very interesting
it's still
game.
the third quarter. This third quarter took a long time.
It has.
Full of twists and turns. I just saw a new thing on the web the other night for a new roller coaster up at Cedar Point in Ohio. I tell you, this game has more twists and turns than that roller coaster.
That name brings me shivers. I got lost there when I was about 7 years old.
I've never been there. Is it nice?
It's nice. Yeah, it's known for its roller coasters. It's a roller coaster park. But I was lost a good 2 or 3 hours when I was 6 years old.
I'm very familiar with it, but I've never been there.
Pretty cool place. Jesse Williams has got to be pumped up after that. No doubt he's going to drive this one into the end zone, and he does, but whistles are blowing. Not sure what that's about. We may have crossed the line ahead of Jesse, so that'll be a penalty. Got a little eager, a little overzealous on special teams. They'll push it back 5 yards.
Watching this video of the roller coaster, I was doing okay watching it, but I can get dizzy sometimes. And when it started doing the upside down and the twist, I had to stop watching it. What city is that? Is it Sandusky, Ohio, or somewhere?
I think you're right. We got confirmation it was.
There's a kid I used to coach in basketball, and his little brother was infatuated, loved roller coasters, and so their family would go up there for vacation. So that's how I first really heard about it.
See if Jesse's got an extra 5 yards. He kicks it low. It's going to get in the end zone.
Yep.
All right, very good. Brought out to the 20. Just did what he needed to do.
I wish Jesse was only a junior, so we have him
for
2
right?
years, but he's a senior, I believe.
No question about it.
According to our roster, I don't know if it's accurate, it says he's 6 foot 180, so he's got decent size for a kicker. Well, he doesn't look 6 feet tall to me, but maybe he is.
I agree with you. I mean, I definitely think someone should look at him at the next level.
We don't kick that many field goals.
No,
at
but
Lakeland,
still,
but he's a we might kick some more.
I think he's very capable with a little coaching too. I think he could be an excellent college kicker.
Yep.
Rowland, with just 43 seconds left in the third quarter, slung down for 3-yard gain.
Well, Tim, I know we're both Gator fans, and they have a great kicker in Eddie Pinheiro, but he's a junior, and it'd be nice to get another kicker on, on the roster next to them red shirt.
You like using the word, the adjective chippy. Things have gotten a little chippy here in the second half. Lots of playing after the whistle I'm seeing going on right now. Lots of little jabs, and it's very interesting.
They're going to let the last few seconds wind down, looks like. No, they might get one more playoff.
No, I don't think they're going to get it off, so they're going to.
So, Tim, that's going to be the last play there of the third quarter. Your score in Lakeland 17 and Eastlake 7. Lakeland had a 7-point lead at the half, have expanded that to 10. As we get ready for the fourth quarter here at Bryant Stadium.
A warranty with unlimited miles. Regal Kia in Lakeland is Central Florida's only family-owned dealership to offer a lifetime warranty on every new Kia sold for as long as you own your vehicle. Regal is Lakeland's volume Kia dealer with over 250 new Kias available. Online at regalkia.com. We offer a family buying experience in our spacious new facility and exceptional service with pickup and delivery after the sale. Serving Central Florida for 40 years. See why so many people trust Regal Kia next to Lakeland High School.
Back at Bryant Stadium for the fourth quarter and the conclusion of a very interesting high school contest. Eagles, Dreadnoughts. couple very odd plays that you may never see again in your life. The tip to the end zone, that's one you see, every 3 or 4 games you'll see one of those, but not the one from Whitehead to Ndesha, number 50, Adam Ndesha. This game seems like it's going a long time. My daughter Olivia's at her homecoming dance tonight. So after this, I've actually got to go pick her up.
Oh, she might be outside
Brandon.
waiting.
Yeah.
Where's she at, in Brandon?
They're in Brandon. She can drive, but and she drove there.
She homeschools, right?
Yeah, she homeschools, but technically at the age you're not supposed to drive after 11 o'clock. So we got.
How old is she? 16 or 17?
16. She'll be 17 in
Where's
a
it at,
few
Brandon?
weeks.
I live over there.
I'm not sure what the facility it is. Well, still waiting for that turnover on defense, Jeff Goddard.
Tim, if I told you before this game started that Adam Ndesha would have the longest completion of the game for the Dreadnoughts, what would you say?
Say probably not. But since you asked me the question, I'd say there must be something to that. Dreadnought defense now needs to come alive. Roland back in his duties on a 2nd down and 7. Getting pressure, escapes the pressure and bombs it over the middle. Over. There we go. Interception number 11 at the 50. Cuts back 40, still on his feet, 35. Just go down. Good job. That's what we wanted right there. Thank you. Pick off Carlos Best.
The linebacker out in coverage there. Nice job, Carlos.
That was one of those pressure.
Excuse me, he's a defensive back, not a linebacker. He's a defensive back.
Pressure interceptions, Jeff, as Roland was getting lots of pressure, and he just, in a hurry, stepped forward and threw it over his intended receiver.
He did a great job avoiding the sack.
That part was great.
I thought we were going to get him sacked, so he avoided the pressure, stepped up in the pocket, but then, and he had a guy open, he just overthrew him. He airmailed it. I think like maybe the adrenaline of escaping the rush, and he airmailed that one. And Carlos Best made a huge play here early in the 4th quarter. Now let's see if Lake can go ahead and kind of put this game on ice by punching this ball in the end zone.
Strong I formation, inside handoff.
There's that counter play again to Whitehead.
Oh, nice job. Whitehead fighting off the initial tackler. Number 42 had him by the jersey. I thought he was going to go down. That was John McLam, but he just kept churning those legs and got a nice gain out of it. 2nd down and 2 to go. We'll take 8 yards on 1st down every time.
You know I have to ask Coach Castle the question, right?
Which one?
What do you call that play?
Yeah, he needs to call it something.
That'd be my first question to him.
We'll see if we get a smile out of him. It's tough to get him to crack a smile, but Thomas, quick handoff. Hall brought down right at the line. No gain.
Okay, it's going to be 3rd and 2 as no gain on that play.
Play lost a yard, brings up 3rd down and 3.
He cited it as a 1-yard loss, 3rd and 3. 17-7 is your score. Trying to make it a little more comfortable. Still not quite there yet. 10-point lead. Here comes the blitz. Number 25 to the outside.
They got him.
So do you bring Jesse Williams back out?
You go for it here.
Yeah, I do
try
too.
to get a touchdown.
3's not going to really. I mean, it helps, but it's
you're still only up by 13, so 2 touchdowns could win the game for East Lake.
They're sending Thomas, the quarterback, back out. Branson Brown checks in. Hall comes out. Whitehead still in.
4th at about 4.5. Short 5, if you will.
Whatever play you got to elude pressure. I don't know, a screen pass, something. I mean, they're coming in every time now. So
Whitehead's got single coverage out here, wide to the left.
Yeah, I like that. Make one quick move and a quick pass. Looking for the hard snap count. I thought they might do this on a 4th and 5. There is a flag, but I think it's against us.
Yeah,
that was As Jesse's on standby here, standing right next to the coach.
Brings up 4th down and 10.
Now, if you go for it here, that's go for the field goal. It's a 46-yarder. I know he just made a 43-yarder, but. Obviously, they were gambling, hoping they could get him jump off sides. When that didn't work, you just cost yourself 5 yards and make it more difficult to pick up the first down.
Same play setup, Jeff. Man-to-man coverage out here with Whitehead.
The play's got to be going to him.
Let's see. Quick step back. Flag. Whitehead jumped 5 more yards. Whitehead took off before the ball was snapped, and the ref was literally standing 2 feet from him.
I think the reason that Coach, obviously you didn't want that to happen, but I think the reason Coach Castle was content with letting that, taking the gamble even though it was a delayed game, is the fact. Oh, offside.
Wow. Huh.
Wow.
That's not what we thought. It doesn't make a huge difference. 5 yards closer, but.
But my point there was, he didn't mind that one penalty while it goes. I think the play was going to be the Whitehead all along. So if you connect on it 5 yards, 10 yards, doesn't matter. You're going to get a first down. That was clearly the play there as he started to. Thomas got the snap and started to look over towards Whitehead. But now it's back to only being
play change,
4th and less than 5. So I still like Whitehead in single coverage on there.
Offensive line comes up. Branson Brown in it. Tight end as a blocker. Quick step drop, looking time. Now throws it over the middle. There was contact, but it was an uncatchable ball, I believe, outside the back of the end zone.
The Eagles did a good job of disguising their coverage. At the last minute, they flooded the left side of the field, brought an extra guy over there where it looked like that was going to be open, but then they're in the exchange there with penalties and stuff. They changed their defense, and
I thought Thomas should have ran at 5 yards, but he had that room, and for a second there was a lane that opened up, and he could have just easily just almost.
It's a great job by the coaching staff there, the Eagles, to kind of change their defense up there, and that took away what Lakeland was hoping to run. It's all about
Eagles
coaching adjustments.
Yeah, 9 minutes still to go. It seems like this game is dragging on now in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Rowland drops out, fires it to number 10, caught,
Gleason.
and then driven back, 5-yard gain.
Very little gain, a few yards.
Number 16 came up as well. Jack Smith and Tashawn Nixon both on the tackle.
Yep.
One went high, one went low. That's the way to do it. 2nd and 5, though. Dreadnoughts could not capitalize on the interception by Best. Inside hand. Oh, good
nice
hit
tackle.
right there. Finley Graham came from that far side and just racked number 2
like
in the backfield.
A rocket or a torpedo launched there. And,
Isaac Gibbs
got Gibbs down very quickly.
Fake handoff, roll out left side, going single man out. Number 20. Oh, should have been picked off, but 2 Lakeland defenders ran into each other. Oh, my. Finley Graham and number 8 for the Knots. Both should have had a Lorenzo Brown, but now it'll be a 4th down and 5. They'll have to punt it away, I would imagine.
The ball's kind of like it was in a pinball machine.
Oh, goodness.
And we tattooed the quarterback there. I was waiting to see the reference throw a flag for late hit, but the Lakeland defender got there just in the nick of time.
And, the cornerbacks are both going for the ball. They just don't know where their body position is, and should have been an interception, but they broke it up themselves. Still a good defensive stand here for the Knots, and now Finley Graham needs to make a good decision here at the 38-yard line. punter's got some leg.
Oh, he shanked it.
As I say that, I
say it, Tim.
I
say
him. I see. I did it. Shankopotamus.
Wow. Keith Cornett just texted me that this might be the best coach team we've seen in a long time. And
I agree.
I would probably agree with that as well. You're very fundamentally sound. The players, you've seen some good coaching adjustments. This is a very well-played game by two excellent football teams and programs.
That was a fortuitous time for the mythical Shankopotamus creature to rear its head in Bryant Stadium. A punter that's been booming them just gets a little too anxious and does a super spiral off the right side of his foot. We have possession at the 40-yard line, as you can see. 7:43 on the clock. Bringing the pressure again. Quick handoff Hall. 3-4 yards. Good push on a first down by Hall. Like the second and third effort. Strong effort not to go down, and picked up a good extra 2 yards, which are valuable in this game. Defense throwing a lot of different looks at the Knots. As you said, kind of disguising things from time to time, Jeff. Going back to coverage, then
Coach Harbin said they would do that. Yeah.
Under 7 minutes we go. 2nd and 7. 2nd and 6, maybe long 6. Well, that was a broken play. Quarterback's just going to hold it.
You're right, Tim. Things are getting chippy, very chippy on both sides.
Yeah.
Going to be 3rd and about 9 now, as we lost a few yards on that play.
That was ugly. U-G-L-Y, ugly, capital U. Now you got, again.
I kind of felt like he still had time to hand the ball off. I'm not sure why he.
Well, that was Makee Marbra, the backup, one of the backup running backs, who is coming off now. Just missed connection. Lawson and Zipper go out to the far side. Quick pass, caught. Zipper over the middle. Hold on to that ball. First down. Wow.
That's a nice pitch and catch right there, Tim.
Paid the price going over the middle, but Zipper held on to it that time. We've seen a few missteps from him tonight, but held on to a big play right there.
Love to see the tight end involved over the middle of the field like that. Great play call by Coach Castle.
That was huge. Zipper's still wondering what zip code he's in right now. I took a good shot, but he's all right. On the fourth quarter water break with 6:15, the Knots enjoying a 10-point lead, 17-7. We'll take it to our sponsors and be back with you in just a moment.
Bartow Ford is proud to announce that we've won the President's Award for the 19th time. You would need to leave the state of Florida to find a dealer that's won it more. Sales volume and customer satisfaction is how you win. And let's face it, you wouldn't sell a lot of vehicles if you didn't offer the lowest price around and take care of customers the very best. But why don't I have them up on the wall? Because a long time ago, my father taught me that our people are what make the difference. Other dealerships, they can have their gimmicks and games. We'll take people that care. Bartow Ford, we're different, and we prove it.
Back at Bryant Stadium, Bill Castlefield in his 500th coached game as the Knots head coach.
Tim, I was curious. I knew that Eastlake was over in Pinellas County area. I wasn't exactly sure where. So during that last time I Googled it, and it's actually in Tarpon Springs. And draw students, in addition from Tarpon Springs, also Eastlake, which of course is Eastlake High School, Palm Harbor, and Oldsmar. Built in 1986. So when they opened up, Coach Castro's winning his first state championships. He's been coaching longer than this school's been in existence.
Wow. Still with a pep in his step, too, Mr. Goddard.
Oh, yes.
Thomas, inside handoff. Hall. Nice run on first down.
Initial burst of speed there, hit the hole hard.
We'll take 6 yards. And marked as more like 4.5, but still a decent little run. Ball marked right outside the red zone at the 20. And with the timeouts that we've taken, only got one remaining, I believe. But we want the clock to run now with 5 minutes, 26 seconds. Hall back to block, and whistles blow. Timeout, last timeout of the half by the Knots.
Yep, third and final.
We'll keep it here.
At this point, every time you get first down is good because you're burning more clock. You can actually go ahead and punch it in the end zone at this point. Of course, we'll ice the game. At this point, I don't really see a need to kick a field goal, because at this point you go up 13. I mean, I guess they do have a good kicker.
Yeah, you could.
And so that way you prevent them from getting
You're
a touchdown and field goal to tie it.
Right.
But still you could still lose the game on 2 touchdowns. But yeah, they have a good kicker, so they could, yeah. I mean, if it's 4th and short, I think he'll go for it. But if it's 4th and long, yeah, go ahead and kick it.
See what Castle comes up with here in the remaining 5 minutes of the ball game. 2nd down, 6 here. Shotgun, Mr. Thomas. Fake to Hall. Following the blockers just beautifully.
Go.
That was perfect. Keep his feet down near the goal line. Are you kidding me? Did he get it outside the 1? Thomas on a beautiful run, just following his blockers, picking his way. That's exactly how you're supposed to do that.
After we've seen a couple of examples tonight of us not following our blockers, Thomas there showed you exactly how that's done.
That was excellent.
So injured an eagle over there, out of bounds by the end zone.
So you kind of hide, you sneak behind the blockers, Jeff, and then when you see a little gap, which Thomas did, he sprung away from the block and created some room.
I almost want to scream, cut it back to the middle,
cut
it back to the middle. Then I didn't think he saw it, but then he saw it.
He
did it perfectly.
There. First and goal to go just outside the 1. They're tending to the player over on the Dreadnought sideline. He's on a knee.
Want to give a quick shout out to Zach Federer, former punter and place kicker here at Lakeland, current punter for Wheaton. Just texted me, said he's watching the game along with his long snapper. Hopefully Zach is maybe treating his long snapper to a steak or something tonight. You gotta, if you're a kicker or a punter, you gotta take care of the long snapper, right? Take him out to Outback or Longhorns or somewhere.
Injured player is up and walking fine. Can't tell if that's 5 or 6. It's either Puzzitiello, that's number 5, Reed Puzzitiello.
That's your boy Reed. With a name like that, he might be an Italian stallion.
RP. Lots of nicknames you could go with. He's got ZD in the middle of his name. So you could just...
Well, like I said, Italian. First and goal for the Dreadnoughts. Chance to ice this game with 5:03 to go in the 4th quarter.
Thomas, goal line. Touchdown Knots, I think. Come on,
Let's
I saw the ball move a little bit, and that's all it needed was a wiggle waggle. They might call this one 3 inches short. Yeah, I agree with Michael
Wow,
Barrett.
they're going to say he's down inside the 1. It better not be at the 1. It better be about the 1-inch line.
Yeah, it has to be as close as you can get. That it was already at the 1, and Thomas moved forward clearly at least a yard, but they just couldn't see it clearly, so they're going to make him do it again from the 6-inch line. Thomas under center, pushes. Now he's in. Touchdown, Knots. He's definitely over. Thank you.
Taking these refs a long time to raise their hands.
Okay, now we can breathe a little bit.
Assuming the Dreadnoughts can hold on here, Tim. About to be up 17 with 4:17 to go. This is very impressive, Tim, what they've done these last 2 games. Beating Apopka and now on the verge of beating Eastlake, 2 very good high school programs.
Of course, we had the 12th man advantage here at Bryant Stadium, which certainly is a little bit of an advantage, but the Knots doing it on the field. 24-7 now your score, just a little over 4 minutes to play in the ball game. We'll be right back after these short messages. Well, I think the Knots have lived up to the little promo that you just saw from Champion, Play Like a Champion. I think they've done a pretty good job of that tonight. I'm not going to say it's a perfect game by any means, as that ball is going to hit and drop around the 10. They're going to need to pick it up. Well, those are dangerous. You don't want to outrun the coverages. Good. They got number 3, who's their speedster, down around the 27. That was always concerned me because everyone seems to run past the ball carrier and he just runs straight up the middle of the
Finley
field.
Graham, Carlos Best, and Khalil Crawford all down there helping bring him down for the Eagles. There's Joshua Bowers, I believe, again on the play there.
The Eagles take over 1st down and 10 from their own 27-yard line.
Now Eagles have to work probably at a quicker tempo than they'd like to, Jeff, so watch out for miscues as well. Defense shifts around a little bit. Rollins in 3 yards deep. Handoff straight up the gut. And as he got the ball, he was falling, just managed to keep his feet enough to pick up 3 yards. Gave him more like 4 yards. Crawford on the tackle.
Play gain 3 yards, brings up 2nd down and 7.
Interesting choice of plays there. Short run. Time being taken off the clock. Roland drops back. Looking downfield, man are covered, tries to get to the outside and throws it too far to the outside, out of bounds to number 88.
Flag on the play. Late hit, roughing the passer against the Dreadnoughts.
There we go.
Your night is now complete.
I can leave the stadium satisfied hearing Horse by the Lakeland High School Dreadnought Marching Band. Penalty brings up a 1st down just shy of the 45. Roland still a lot of work to do, down 24-7. Man in motion, drops back. Get pressure, throws it over as a screen pass, caught by number 2 and then hit by number 44. Boy, he threw that in a myriad of traffic. It was a sea of white jerseys. Somehow number 2 was aware enough to come back to the ball, kind of just reach his arms out and grabbed it in and amongst the tribe of Eagles there. And ends up in a 9-yard pickup, 2nd down and 1. Dreadnought defense a bit scattered as the Eagles work in a hurry under center. Roland, 2nd and 1, pitches it out. Oh, Finley Graham blew the play up initially, and then Robert Madden came in and officially cleaned up the mess.
Carlos Besson on the play. He's having a nice game tonight for the Dreadnoughts. His best game of the year.
3rd and 5 after the nice play by Graham and Madden. Carlos Best as well in on it. Looks like they're going to pass all the way here on a 3rd and 5. Dropping back. Here comes pressure. Throw it. Caught. No. Bobbled. Yep. Had it for the first down. Lost it and then caught it again. Secured it. Number 8.
It's Khalil Crawford again, a snap.
Cole
on the
Lyons.
tackle, I should say.
Number 8.
And Jack Smith there as well.
Big first down, but the clock is the enemy of the Eagles right now. This drive just taking too long. Rolling on a swing pass. That's actually behind the line. It's a double pass and blocked.
Wow. Jack Smith is having a heck of a game.
There he is.
Wow.
That was behind the line, but because his arm was going forward to forward motion, that is an incomplete pass. Nice idea, but well defended.
Jack Smith and Robert Madden, they're quite the tandem at linebacker.
Yeah, they got a good football sense, just a good nose for the ball and where the play is going. And 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass on the kind of trick play. Quarterback keeper Rowland's going to pay the price.
Nothing going that time. See Latrell Jean on the tackle. Look at Trey Huntley along with.
And now that's just going to wind the clock down.
A.J. Thomas.
Well, Jeff, you could definitely ask a couple interesting questions here in the interview.
Oh, yeah.
You got to at least get a comment from number 50.
Oh, yeah, we're interviewing him.
Timeout, Eagles.
Timeout Eagles. Interesting timeout with 1 minute and 9 seconds.
Guess they're trying to draw up a miracle finish here.
Still fighting. Maybe at least wanting to make the scoreboard look a little more respectable. Now, if I would have seen this scoreboard, I'd probably be like, okay, that makes sense. But how we got here, now seeing that, would have been a little more murky. Would have made a little less sense. But nonetheless, again, we got here. We got the job done.
So might have to wait our turn for Spectrum to interview Coach Castle, but we'll get it done. Got to talk to Coach tonight on his 500th game, that's for sure.
A bad snap, and Rowland is going to make the best of it, running down the sideline. He's going to be hit out of bounds there. Outside the 30, around the 32, 33-yard line.
Tim, I'll let you make the calls on the players of the game.
Thanks.
I think special teams is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Only one bright spot on special teams, so that's pretty obvious.
I think I got him.
Yeah. Defense, you could go a couple different ways. You got several players really start. I mean, remember they are pitching a shutout tonight. The only touchdown for the Eagles came on a punt return, so defense doing great.
Handoff, right side, under a minute. Number 2, juke and drive.
Whoa!
Oh, Finley Graham just lowers the shoulder.
Graham is laying the lumber tonight.
Slow Dreadnought player getting up. Timeout, official timeout, but he'll be quick as he's hobbling off towards the sideline. Clock ticking, under a minute to go in the ball game. The Dreadnoughts will come away with the victory on Coach Castle's 500th coached game.
410-90, that's amazing.
Possibly the last play of the game for Roland and the Eagles. Roll out left side. He's going to go deep, too hard. Oh, incomplete pass. They'll have a couple more shots at it. Had a good arm, Jeff, but not been on target over 15 yards downfield. He's been over shooting things, and
he doesn't. If you notice, he doesn't have any loft on the ball. Everything is kind of a line drive.
So it's got to be right on the button. Yeah, it's got to be perfect.
Unlike Thomas, who
you do both.
You do both, yeah. If anything, he might have too much loft on it sometimes, but he definitely has a nice touch, that's for sure.
Roland trying to tack on a few more points. Nice thrown ball. Oh, that was one of those that we talked about, maybe with just a little loft on it. Off the fingertips, though, of Ryan Roop. Roop. Fourth down now. So, irregardless, this will be the Eagles' last play on offense. Either because the clock has expired or they...
Or do you pick up a quick first down?
Well, that's true. You could do that and then take a shot at it with about 7 seconds left. They might do that. Yeah, they're going to do that. That's funny.
I don't know if you got it then.
Do they have a timeout? Yeah, 4 seconds. They're going to have one play with a fresh set of downs. That's funny.
That's really playing to the last.
They're milking it. They're working it.
Second ticks off the clock.
Good practice. Hey, if this game was 14-7 or some of those scores we had earlier, why not try to get you some practice in?
But the last time I checked, there's no plays that are going to get you 17 points in 4.3 seconds.
No.
But then again, we did see a pretty crazy play tonight. Adam Anesha is a senior offensive lineman, so he's got a great senior memory.
Yeah, I guess. You can see him telling that story to his grandkids in the rocking chair.
Oh, yeah.
One time on the 500th game by Coach Bill Castle, I caught a ball and went 60 yards.
I'm trying to remember. He got it out to about the 40.
Actually, yeah, he didn't run 60.
30,
yeah, he ran about 30, 35 yards.
Yeah, I'm going to say 35, 40-yard play, something like that. Well, yeah, 30 to 35.
No quit and rolling in the Eagles, trying to tack on last bit of points with a couple seconds left, and it's going to be picked off by Madden. How about that?
2 games in a row, he's ended with interceptions.
Yeah,
how about that?
Right.
We neither one 2 weeks ago to clinch a victory. This one's just kind of icing on the cake, if you will. All right, tell them to go down there and round up the interviews.
Hit it.
Have fun closing out the show tonight, partner.
Night.
You too.
Look at that. We got fireworks. It's just the cannon. Friday night under the lights was an interesting game here. The Dreadnoughts come away with the victory over the East Lake Eagles on a special night. Coach Galloway back here. Coach Pat Castle picking up win number 410. Some of the most interesting plays you'll ever see packed into those official 48 minutes. Well, Jeff Goddard's going to go down and position himself for the Agni Family Dental post-game show, where he is going to jockey in position to talk to Coach Castle and a few of the other key players in the contest tonight. He's got to get Adam and Desha on the horn to get his thoughts on that wild catch. That could have ended in a drastically different score if that play wouldn't have happened. You never know. That could have been a solid turning point for the Knots. Momentum kept going back and forth in little spurts, but the Knots never were able to secure things here until the fourth quarter. But I want to give a huge credit to the East Lake Indians defense in particular, but just the entire team, well coached. You know, tempers flared a little bit, but just good, hard, competitive football. And as you can see after the contest, they're all giving thanks to the good Lord for a game well played and the freedom to be able to play high school football in the state of Florida. And I got hurricane free this week, thankfully. We do want to, again, of course, say that we are still in thought and prayer about those that were more hardly affected by the storm. And we know that there are several still in and around the Central Florida and South Florida areas. And we're blessed to be back in action here and school back. And I wouldn't say completely back to normal. You can just drive around and still see everyone's got new hedges out in front of their yard. They're brown hedges, but they are old brush and debris hedges in the city of Lakeland. I would say I want to give a shout out to them for doing an incredible job, both in electric and waste management and everything that they've done to keep the city moving along. Not an easy task with as much widespread outages and debris that they had. So we are in the Agni Family Dental post-game show. Let's listen in on the huddle here. Jeff Goddard again down, bringing you up close and personal action inside the huddle. And he gave me the pleasure of being able to name the players of the game. And I like stepping outside the box a little bit. I'm going to give, on defense, actually co-players of the game tonight. And Robert Madden, I couldn't go without mentioning him as he capped the game off with an interception. And Jack Smith was just all over the field tonight, wreaking havoc. All over. So I'd like to give the co-defensive players of the game to one Robert Madden and Jack Smith. As you can see, the alma mater being played. On offense, I just heard that Spectrum gave the offensive player of the game to Kavaris Thomas. I'm gonna shift gears a little bit, and although there were a couple of shaky times, some of those just memorable plays, two of them, in fact, were because of Antonio Whitehead. The tip and then catch in the end zone, and then the play he made and having to step up for Bowman, who went out of the ball game. I believe he did that and did what he needed to do. So I'm going to give the offensive player of the game to number 7 on the Lakeland Dreadnoughts roster, and that is one Antonio Whitehead. Special teams, Jesse Williams is going to get a lot of those, and I'm going to give that special teams to Jesse Williams as he kicked a key field goal. It was good on extra points. Even on a couple penalties, was still able to get the ball in the end zone, and so a pretty easy call. A lot of honorable mentions. You know, Fenley Graham did a good job, really good job at times, the offensive line. But overall, isolating a few of those players. Antonio Whitehead, Jack Smith, Robert Madden and Jesse Williams are your official players of the game tonight. Lakeland 4-0. Of course, you may be wondering why there are not more games in there. We've had a couple games obviously canceled. A couple rain delays in between the ones that we did get in early on in the season, but thankful to get this one in with no issues whatsoever. Beautiful evening here at Bryant Stadium for Coach Castle's 410th official win and his 500th coached game. So neat to be a part of those little landmarks. You're not going to see that a lot in this day and age for high school football coaches. You know, there's a few around that have reached such heights, and when I say few, I mean you can count them definitely on one hand. So Coach Castle continuing his excellence both on and off the field and shepherding these kids in all the little things, and those little things matter, right? There's even the Bible talks about being faithful in the little things, and a lot of the big things will work themselves out well. So well done tonight here at Bryant Stadium, 24-7. Of course, your score as we're continuing on the Agni Family Dental post-game show, waiting for Jeff Goddard to get in position to get a glimpse and an up-close interview with Coach Bill Castle and a few of the players, whoever he decides to grab. Thanks, Michael Barrett, again for doing a fantastic job, and the entire crew up here in the press box for keeping us straight. We sometimes can get a little wily up here, and so they keep us on task. So thank you guys. You do a lot of the hard, heavy lifting, literally, with packing equipment up and bringing it here, and we certainly know that it would not run without all the work that you do behind the scenes. So thank you again. Just a reminder, the Booster Club meeting is this Monday night at 7 o'clock in the LHS locker room. It'd be a unique one to go to. I tell you, if you haven't been to one, it's a real treat. If you are a Dreadnought fan and you're here in Lakeland or wherever you're at, if you want to come, it is a unique experience. There's a lot of old faithfuls that come listen to Castle every week and get inside thoughts of why he played certain players, why he called certain plays. Very good insight into the mind of Coach Bill Castle, which we know is pretty deep and vast when it comes to football knowledge. Just waiting on, as you can see right there, Travis Galloway is talking to Coach Bill Castle. And Travis's wife and sons making the trip from Tennessee, and you heard a little bit from Travis at the Harry Seafood halftime show where Jeff Goddard was able to talk with Bill Galloway and Travis Galloway. I don't know, we'll have to get on to Travis. It sounded like his son was pretty eager to play football, but I don't know. He's not letting him quite run loose yet. So, and he's got the genes, that's for sure. He should be hitting some pretty good growth spurts here pretty soon. So maybe that's what they're waiting on. Final score here again at Bryant Stadium, 24-7. The Knots taking control late in the third quarter as you see Jeff wandering around and getting in position. Oh, I see big number 50 coming to the mic. So Jeff is about ready as camera crew is going to get fixed on him, and we're going to hear some first-hand info from a few of the key players tonight. Jeff Goddard in and down around the 50-yard line. Take it away, Jeff.
All right, this is Jeff Goddard on the field with Antonio Whitehead and Adam Indisha, the two players who combined to make the play of the year, really, for the Dreadnoughts. Let's start off talking here with Antonio. So the play was obviously a backwards pass. All right. Now first you hit the ground. It looked like for a second you just kind of paused. Did you think for a second it was a forward pass, or did someone yell at you to get the ball, or what happened there?
No, I ain't hear the whistle blow, so I just kept going. And then I ended up trying to pick the ball up and went back more. So when I picked the ball up, I had rolled out, and I meant to throw it to Kivars, but it went over his head, and then Adam just made a play after that.
So you pivoted because you're by the sideline, you turn around, you try to throw to Kivars, you're saying, and it found your buddy Adam over here.
Yeah, and my boy just did what he had to do.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, man. I thought you were going to tell me that it was the play that Coach Castle had designed and you saw Adam wide open?
Nah, I ain't going to say nothing like that.
All right, hold on 1 second. I know Adam. Now, I mean, I was just talking to some former offensive linemen over who played back when I was in high school, and they said that was a dream come true for offensive linemen. Talk me through that play.
Really, I seen Kivo come up, but I seen it was overthrown, so I just caught it and then just started running. And Kivo just came in front of me and started blocking.
What would you do? What would you say if I told you that you had the longest pass of the night, the longest pass completion of the night, about 30, 35 yards?
Turn on. Tough win. It was an ugly win, but we got it, so I'm just happy.
Now, did you ever play running back or receiver in youth football? Because it looked like you were pretty comfortable with the ball in your hands there.
Well, literally, I played a little fullback, running back, but had to change the O-line. Just got a little running back experience right there.
Now, be honest with me. It looked like you were running pretty good, but once you got about midfield, it looked like you started to come up with a little short of breath. Now, were you getting tired there?
No, not really. I was really thinking about should have stayed on the sideline, but I cut, so then I got tackled.
Yeah, it was a nice cut back to the middle there. Now, I got one more question for you. Are you going to talk to Coach Castle this week and say, hey, can you draw up a play for me next week, Coach?
I might do a little something. He ain't going to listen to me, though.
Coach Baylor might be trying to bring you over to his unit.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. Nah, I'm just going to stay where I'm at.
You stay offensive line?
Yeah.
All right, great job, Al. Great job. Thanks for joining us. Antonio, thanks for joining us. We'll be back with Coach Castle in a few minutes.
Thanks, Jeff Goddard, up here back in the press box. Tim Conti with you. That's interesting insight, right? It was going to Kavaris Thomas intentionally, but I know Jeff also has another player standing by.
All right, actually, before Coach Castle, back with Jack Smith. I know it's your course, but you go by Jack now, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jack, you've had a couple good games in a row, especially on you all over the field. Talk about your performance now. The defense really pitched a shutout. It's the only points were special teams touchdown.
The performance, it was really good. I mean, we work hard all week, so it's just not one player performance. It's just not me, myself. It's the whole team because I can't do it by myself out here.
All right, now talk about playing for Coach Bulldini. He's a great defensive coordinator, always seems to make good adjustments. Does he put you guys in position to make plays?
Yes, sir, he does. We play a scheme where you have to fit up in gaps, so he put us in place. Yes, sir.
Now, towards the end of the game, you had a great play there where they tried to do a little trick play, too, where they threw it behind the line of scrimmage, a double pass, and you jumped perfectly, and it was like a block shot in basketball almost. Talk about that play a little bit.
Oh, well, I knew what play they was running as soon as they said height, so I was just coming over the top, just tying the ball and blocked it, which I think it was a touchdown, but it's okay if the refs didn't call it.
Yeah, I guess they ruled an incomplete pass. Yes, sir. But nonetheless, still a great play by you.
Yes, sir, it was.
Now, do you have any aspiration to play in college, Jack?
Yes, sir. Right now I'm committed to Syracuse, but my options are open.
Very nice. Great job tonight. Have a good weekend. Be safe. We'll be back with Coach Castle in a minute.
Thanks, Jeff Goddard. Again, as we were saying, kind of some interesting insight on that play from Antonio Whitehead to number 50. Intentionally, Whitehead just saw his quarterback out in the flat and just threw it. And number 50 had that ball awareness enough to see that it was going over his head and to just put himself in a position to catch the ball. I mean, obviously, you have to have some kind of instincts for that to take over. We weren't sure if that play was going to stand, what the rule exactly was, but because, again, of the fumble, it negates the fact that there is an offensive lineman that catches the ball and touches the ball first there, so someone else had already touched the ball after that. So the play stood, and again, who knows how much of an important role that play, in fact, did have in the end result here. But nonetheless, the nods you heard from one of the defensive players of the game, Jack Smith there, and unselfish, saying that obviously he can't do it by himself, and they did, even though it was an abbreviated week, worked hard to get ready, as they always do in practice. You can see that there's not a lot of clowning around. They're serious business out there, as Jeff Goddard puts himself in position. Thank you for some of my friends getting some texts and emails, listening tonight, and enjoying Dreadnought football on a Friday night. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. As the celebration kind of continues on the field, you see Coach Galloway talking to some old friends. Dane Mooney out there, who was also on the coaching staff for a time when Coach Galloway was there. And Dane's family, Tammy, and his sons. Coach Castle is finally being wrestled. Congratulated by Paul Hallier there. It looks like he just went shopping. Looks like he's got he took the bag of cookies with him. That's what it was. The leftover bag of cookies. Still in the Agni Family Dental post-game show, wrapping things up. This is the last waning moments. We have to talk to Coach Bill Castle before this game is in the books and complete in our mind. And Jeff is positioning himself. So if you're still with us, you are one of the true faithful. So whoever you are, if you've hung in there, props to you. You get the 12th Man Award for sticking with us. As Jeff is now at the 45-yard line, shaking hands with Coach Bill Castle. And take it away, Jeff Goddard.
Jeff Goddard back with you on the field here with victorious head coach of Lakeland High School, Bill Castle. 410th win out of 500 games. First, just congratulations on another milestone, 500 games in your illustrious coaching career.
Thank you. It's you know, it's really all right, man. It's really, you know, only thing it really shows is how old I am. I think when you got 500 games. Now we had 500 wins. I'd be, you know, but anyway, I appreciate it.
Well, an 820 winning percentage is pretty good, Coach. That's for sure. All right, another question I've been dying to ask you. What's that play call there where you hit Adam and Desha on the 35-yard game? What's that called in your playbook, Coach?
Oh, man, what a crazy play right there. You know, that may have been a turning point in the game right there. I'm not real sure that's a legal play, but, you know, anyway, we'll take it. No.
Yeah.
We, you know, we came out flat. I mean, you know, our guys have been off 11 days and three practices this week, and it you know, it showed tonight. And you know, I didn't do a real good job tonight, I don't think. But you know, our kids found a way and won the game, and you know, so we'll hopefully get better next week.
Yeah, I don't think that was legal either, but I interviewed Adam a while ago. I think he might be lobbying you this week, Coach, to see about making that a staple of the playbook. But so, about your question or the point you raised about maybe a little bit rusty, how much of a challenge was that not seeing the team for almost 2 weeks and only having 3 practices before this game against a very tough team?
Yeah, you know, it's hard like that to have that many days off, and you just lose your continuity, your rhythm, and everything. And we did that tonight. We never got in sync with any rhythm at all on offense. Defense, you know, we played scrappy all night, and got to give defense a lot of credit tonight.
The defense, you know, actually pitched a shutout. The only touchdown was on the punt return. Just talk about what a good job Coach Baldini does with those guys, and especially the linebackers. You talk about them a little bit. I interviewed Jack, and Robert's playing really good, and Hampton. The linebackers seem to really be playing good this year. Talk about that unit just a little bit.
Well, Coach Baldini does a great job of getting the kids prepared and knowing, you know, the other team's offense and play recognition and stuff. And he's just unbelievable job. And Jack and Robert, you know, we expect them to do good because they've been doing that for a couple of years there. And, you know, tonight they had an outstanding night. But, you know, our defense plays good together, and they don't seem to get down when things don't go their way, and they just keep playing hard.
All right, one last question for you, Coach. We obviously changed the schedule this year. Have a really tough non-district schedule, back-to-back games, now beating Apopka and Eastlake, 2 very good programs. What does that tell you about your team in terms of maybe how far they could potentially go this year in the playoffs?
Well, you know, after tonight's game, I'm not sure on that, but hopefully we'll get better and play better next week. But you know, we got a lot of potential with this football team, and so, but you got to take them one at a time, and you know, you got to keep working hard. You're either going to get better, or you're getting worse, you know. And we took a little step back tonight, but hopefully we'll work hard next week and play a little better.
Well, Coach Castle, enjoy your 410th win tonight and your 500th game. Congrats again. Thanks for your time. Tim, back to you up in the box.
Thanks, Coach Bill Castle. Jeff Goddard, there you see it. Coach Bill Castle's 500th coach game and his 410th win. No better way to end this game than with a W. And, again, it wasn't all pretty, but got the job done. And I'm going to hit the road. I'm asking and hoping and praying that everyone stays safe And the Dreadnoughts come away with a 24-7 victory. We have 2 away games coming up in a row. Then back here October 13th against Winter Haven, which should be a great game as well. So I'll sign off for Michael Barrett and the crew and Jeff Goddard. I'm Tim Conti. We say God bless and good night and go Dreadnoughts.